show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Lining up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Ooh, you take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Ooh, you take me higher, baby. You take me higher. Yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the African edition, the progressive news show with Let's History. I am your host, Marlon, along with Anna and Theus. Today's show is all about relationship questions, advice that we can give, our aspect on it. Is pretty wild, to say the least. Now, none of these are, at least I tried to say, I hope none of these is like, oh, come on, that's real easy. Oh, come on, stop being stupid. Oh, come on, you should blah, blah, blah. You know, he threw me out the window, but I really love him. Should I stay? I'm hoping it's none of those idiotic questions. But there are some of the questions that I would hope will make this panel think a lot. Theus, you actually have a question. The last question of am I the a-hole that I was talking to Anna about, simply because not only because it's in your wheelhouse, it's something that you have expertise on, but for the fact that I'm still 50-50 on it, like I don't see where anybody is the a-hole.
I feel you. So Brainy Smurf was actually quite underrated. Does that help? I liked him. He just had a little. He was peculiar.
He was an idiot. But before we get started, please do not forget. He was an idiot, man. He was the dumbest one of them all.
He was brainy.
Hefty was smarter than Brady. But anyway, as always, do not forget to hit that like button, please. I would truly appreciate it. The more people that hit that like button, in case you don't know, the more people who hit that like button right here, right now, while I'm talking to you, the more the algorithm of YouTube will suggest that our video is live and to come out and take a look at us. And as always, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button if this is your kind of content, at least if this is your kind of content of this show. Because tomorrow, whoo, I'm going to take a nap for it, and I ain't even going to discuss it right now. We're discussing it at the end of the show. Anna, how's everything going with you today?
Going pretty good. Just checking out 2 really bright new lights that I got. And so hoping everything is looking okay. How are you doing, Marlon?
You're looking beautiful, Anna. I am doing pretty freaking good. I finished the show literally at 3 o'clock. like the whole thing. So I was like sitting here twiddling my thumbs for the next 5 hours, and I don't think I want to do that anymore. Theus, what's going on,
I'm
man?
doing this.
Oh, hey, hey, everybody, hey, everybody, hey. Just to get this out of the way, this is the UNIA RBG flag superimposed with the African continent. Yes, I know for whatever reason the designer left off Madagascar. I do not know why, but I still love my flag. And it has zero, count them, zero to do with that movie that then came out. I ain't got nothing to do with that movie. That movie, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I heard it was a really good movie, but it ain't had shit to do with this right here behind me. This is an homage to the wonderful Marcus Garvey and all that he helped build. But anyway, man, I was busy today, man. I cut the grass. I went and checked on my AC unit and found out that the AC repair guy was trying to rip me off. Nothing's wrong with my AC. Make sure these guys they ain't right, man. They ain't right. And my tire went flat. Got me a new tire. You know, it's just a busy day.
Sound like it.
Yeah, man.
Let's see who's
Tired,
out
bro.
there before
Tired.
we even get started. Mama Hart, 33 year
anniversary.
anniversary. Congratulations, Mama Hart. Tracy says hello. She says she's going to be late, so she will be coming on the show.
Hi, Tracy.
Hey, Marlon, Anna, Thiz. Thank you all for
Hello.
reminding me, Marlon. You
Hey,
are
Mickey.
great. I hate when she elder sitter. Hey, Susan.
Hey, Susan.
Hello.
I broke that like button. That's what I'm talking about. Smash that like button. Please smash that like button right now. Do not wait to hit that like button. Hit it right now. All right. Well, seems like that is it. Without further ado, let's get this party started. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and jump right into what I think is going to be a little small controversial, because I had a small argument with Foxy over this first one. And I'm sticking to my guns. I've heard it like 3-4 times after that, and I'm not changing my mind on it.
How many times you got to be wrong?
I want you to count when I was wrong.
You wrong all the time,
I'm
bro.
not wrong all the time.
Every time you go up against Foxy, you lose.
I am not. No. Here's the deal. You can't say Foxy right, and that automatically means I'm wrong. No, because you literally be the only one that says Foxy right. Anna is the smart one in the group that just go, staying out of this one. Just go.
I will wait until I hear it.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
So here
Foxy's
we go.
gonna be right.
I've been dating my girlfriend for about 5 months. From the beginning, I knew that she was wealthier than me because she doesn't have a roommate and has a new car. She told me she worked at a company nearby. Well, last week I met her parents, and a few days ago she told me that she's been lying to me. She's way richer than she let on. The apartment is a fake apartment. Not in the sense that she doesn't have the lease, but she doesn't live there. She pays for an entire apartment just to seem poorer than she really is. She lives in an ungodly large house, and her car isn't her normal car. She normally drives a Porsche, and she doesn't work at the company. Her dad is the CEO. She doesn't work at all. I talked to her a bit more about how her finances work, and here's basically how she explained it to me. She has more money in her accounts than I'll likely ever make in my life. But she, for the most part, just sends her credit card bills to her dad. So she basically has uncapped spendings. She went to college just for fun. There were some signs that she was lying, but I sort of ignored them. Her car seemed unused, and her apartment seemed too clean and empty to be used. But she said she was a neat freak and hires a cleaning service, so I just took her at her word. She says during the day that she just does basically whatever she wants. Sometimes she'll play video games all day, sometimes she'll go out with friends, sometimes she'll just take a day trip just wherever her heart desires. I can't imagine living like that. I mean, it seems like a dream. She's literally never worked before. Not even a summer job. She's really sweet and we share a lot of interests, but I don't know if I can be with someone who literally has never had a stressor of any meaning, because she'll always have enough money to buy her way out of any situation. Plus, I have no clue how it would work in the long term. If we got married, would I still work? I'm already feeling resentful that she just does nothing during the day and I'm working. I have no clue what to do. We've been doing really well up until this point.
Okay.
I'll put it like this. Go ahead, bro.
No, let me give you Foxy's point of view on it. Foxy is more or less saying that the girl need to go find something to do, even if she goes and volunteers something, because she needs some type of she needs to find out how it feels to work. That's how you communicate with others on different situations and different types and things like that. And and I see what she's saying. I do see what she's saying, because all she really said is, we saw what happened during the pandemic when people were shut down and they couldn't communicate with others and everything else. I personally, now this is my point of view. Come on, if you ain't got to work, you ain't working. And she ain't got to work. Plus, what is it that she needs to learn when she already said she hangs out with her friends if she wants to? So she got friends. She's not conceited. She's not stuck up. She seems like she's already been through the worst of showing people how rich she is, because she has to buy stuff to look poorer than what she is. But
if she wants to know that somebody is with her,
for her,
I think I see where she's coming from.
Yeah, because I have to. Most billionaires, you would not know are billionaires. They ain't driving fancy cars. They ain't wearing the latest whatever. They're not doing all that. For what? Like I told y'all about the attorney who had 2 Mercedes. One was a 1970 something beat up Mercedes where he changed the engine in it 4 times and probably up to 5 now. And that's what he used to go to meetings, go to out of town, his work vehicle. Then of course it's the Mercedes that was brand new, look good. That's what he do to look good. But it's like, don't try to impress people you ain't never gonna see again. Everybody at North is, because he's trying to be funny.
I'm trying. I'm trying so hard. So hard.
So I'm gonna let Anna go, because this is gonna have a thesis. Anna, go ahead. Oh, sorry. Let me add just one little caveat in.
Go ahead.
Also, dude, you had no issue with this girl whatsoever till you found out that she was mega rich. Period. You had no clue. We was getting along great. We was getting along wonderful. Now I resent her. Why? It ain't your money. She ain't got to work. You do. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Anna.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a both sides thing. I see where she's coming from. As much as yes, why do you have a problem with her now that you know she has money? She probably likes you well enough that she's opening up and maybe would share some of that lifestyle. Tell me, who wouldn't like that? Would she not feel a purpose if she didn't go and volunteer somewhere? If she didn't, I really don't know. I'm not her. She might be giving off millions, and we don't know. Please, go ahead.
Please talk or
Please
use the
go.
bathroom. One of the two.
Nah, I like this. All right. First of all, you heard it here, folks. Foxy's wrong. I agree mostly with Marlon. I'm sorry. All right, look. First of all, check this
Wow.
out. I'm just saying, look, the whole concept of the value of work, the morality of work is bullshit. Okay, that's only what people who don't have what they want say to themselves to justify why they have to work so hard. Okay,
Mm.
fuck that. Okay, if I manage, whether by hook or by crook, to create a world where my children are that wealthy, I have but two jobs. One, make sure I raise them to be good people. Sounds like she's good people.
Yeah.
Two, make sure that the wealth is set up in such a way and they're educated in such a way that they can't lose it. Okay, those are my two jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, and keep them off the dope. But the morality of work, I'm sorry, folks. I'm saying that word. Nobody else said that word. I said this word. But the morality of work is bullshit. Okay. Who is
I
he
hear that.
to say, in order for me to feel better about you, why don't you go work for free somewhere? Dude, if you don't shut the hell up, you go volunteer. You know what I'm saying? When you get off your job, take your happy ass up the street and go volunteer. That's your calling. Don't call her to do your calling. And then, really, now understand my philosophy with dating. You can break up with anybody for any reason. So if his particular character or moral code or whatever he's got going on is going to create, hey, Tracy, is going to create confusion for him, and he's going to be resentful of her, and he's going to be suspicious and questioning and all that stuff, and he's going to try to overcompensate by bringing her down a notch. Leave her the hell alone.
I can literally see that.
Right?
Yeah.
Leave her alone. Go find you another hard-working, getting it out the mud woman that y'all can go and build this thing together. And I don't mean that in a funny way. If that's what he needs to be in an effective relationship, go get that. Don't try to make her something else. Don't do that. And the shorty, hold your coins, baby girl. Do your shit. That's what your daddy wanted for you. Go play video games all day. I don't care. Do what makes you happy, baby. I wish a motherfucker would come to me talking about you need to go to work. Bitch, you working my nerves. That's what you doing. I'm going to brunch on a Tuesday.
I'm sorry that I took a long time to get back. I just had to go to Foxy and go. Thea said you was wrong. She shoots back and says, tell me and Thea that we both lame. So, Tracy, what you think? I know you heard the story.
He is jealous of her. He's so jealous. I'm like, dude, shut up. Either marry the woman for her money or just keep it moving. Like, what are we doing here? Let me tell you something. If it's a man out there 70 years or plus years old that got money and interested in him, no question. Nope, I don't got a question. I don't got one.
Just went well.
Yeah, I went there. But I'm just saying, just marry her for the money. Shut up, dude. Oh, she doesn't work hard. What do you do? What does whose idea is
hard?
Doing what?
But see, that's the issue, Tracy. It isn't what does he do for a living. It's the fact that he works for a living, and he's beginning.
And she doesn't. Her father worked. Her father worked, so she didn't have to work. Boy, if you don't shut up. Like I said, marry her for the money. I don't know how I can say this any louder. Marry her for her money.
No, that's horrible. That's horrible.
No,
that's horrible.
That's
you marry her for the money. It is
horrible advice.
Hey, he's been dating her 5 months, so
But if
I'm just saying,
5 months, then be with her for her, because that's what you like before you
marry her for them coins.
All right,
Don't
so
sign
anybody,
no prenup.
men
Don't do
and
that.
women out there,
Men
men
don't
and
do
women
that.
out there, do
Don't
not
do
listen
that.
to Tracy, because here's what's going to happen when you go and you connect with somebody just because of their money. All right, here's what's going to happen. I'm
I'm
tell you
not
how it
saying
rolls now.
connect because of the money, but if
That's
she's
what you just
got it,
said.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
And
That's
then
just
you
an
turn around and say,
attitude.
hey, if you 70 and got money, holla at me. So I'm just saying, don't
That's what
listen to
I'm looking
Tracy.
for. That's what
So
I'm looking
here's
for.
what's going to happen. Because if I can pay for you, then I'm only going to want you for as long as I find your value to be necessary for my investment. So I'm gonna trade you in for another model, and I'm
that's
sure enough doing a prenup. You ain't getting nothing out of me. I paid for the booty and the duty. When we done, you take your booty and your duty on,
I'm
and I
saying
go on this ring.
dude should marry her, get her married now. Don't sign a prenup. What is he talking about? I know it. Ugh. Did it ever occur to him that she wants somebody who likes her for herself? Did he never think of that? It just never crossed his mind? Give me a break. He is so jealous of
But
her.
that's the deal, though.
He is
They
jealous
had
of
no
her.
problems connecting before, and he feels like she lied, and
But he's
that
entitled
is
to
his
feel that
problem.
way.
Okay, so she had
He is
told him
entitled to feel that way.
This
he's
this
You're
whole
wrong.
thing,
his opinion is stupid.
this whole issue is based on resentment. This whole thing is based off of you had no issue with this girl whatsoever. You even said during it, we have a lot of things in common. So if you had a lot of things in common, for her being mega rich and you not being mega rich, now all of a sudden you resent her because you got to go to work and she get to go and walk around and play
That
video
ain't what it
games
is.
all day and play around with her friends or go on
Hey,
trips
she
and
can play
everything.
video
But
games,
that's
go to
not even what
brunch,
it
go on
is.
shopping trips.
This is
That's
what it
her
is.
life.
This is what it is. It's all projection. It's all projection. This is what it is. It doesn't matter that she gets to play and do all these wonderful things that the money
It's
lets her
not,
do.
Mickey.
His issue is that if they do progress, who is he to her? Because he is fixated on the money, right? So in his mind and in his little stupid ass ego, he can't measure up to that because in his worldview, he's supposed to take care of his woman. So he now knows he has a woman whose father takes care of her and got access to money that ain't nothing he can do financially. But what the dumbest part of this is, just take that math and say to yourself, dude, damn, so she got all that and she still chose my crumb bum ass?
Yeah, that's what I'm like, dude. He should be like, yup.
And that's
Think
my
about
deal
the
with
things you
him
could
is
do together. If you
You
really
can live
have,
off
Don't
of
even
her
think about what you
money.
can do together. Forget the money. You wanted her because you thought she was a normal person. Now, once you get with her like that, you can't pretend she's a normal person because her ass ain't normal. You dating a Kardashian, all right? But it's still the same person.
This is, you know what this is, Marlon? This is the subplot to Coming to America.
It is part of it.
This is exactly what happened.
no, that literally is the plot.
I'm like,
No.
this is.
I'm coming to
Yeah, it was because she thought he was regular, and then when she found out he was a prince, she's gonna run away.
He even
Oh,
told
yeah,
Simi
yeah,
to
you're right.
not
Right,
tell
that
her.
part.
And remember, he even got mad because Simi was like, I don't want to live like this. And he made the apartment with a jacuzzi and everything.
yeah.
And he went off literally saying, I remember this line. He literally says, if I lose her because of you, I will never forgive you. So he already had in his mind that, what was her name?
I
Lisa.
don't know.
Lisa.
Well, I
She
didn't watch
already
this
had in
movie
mind
way
that
too many
Lisa
times.
liked him for him. Now, at the end of the movie, she told the truth. He's like, I didn't know you was this rich or this popular or whatever. And he said, I will give all this up if you want to. And she said,
Nah.
Not only that, but they, if not for the fact that he's a prince and went off to Africa and they're so filthy rich, she would have left him anyway in a few years because he was a rebound dude. Boom.
Daryl was an abusive piece of garbage.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Eddie's character, whatever the hell his name was,
Akeem.
Akeem.
Wow, I've watched this movie like a lot of
Akeem,
times.
He was the rebound dude, right? So basically, she was with Daryl. He represented money and he represented new money, right? That's what he represented. Yep. And she was with him and he was neglectful and selfish and self-centered and all that stuff. But remember, she was with him and she was almost ready to marry this cat. So Then she gets Akeem, who seems like the poor, humble immigrant who ain't got nothing, but he makes me feel good about me. That's classic rebound. Soon as they got together, they
No,
stayed
she
funky
wasn't
behind
gonna
and
marry Daryl. She was mad at him because he announced the engagement. He turned the party into an engagement. She was like,
that was about timing. That's about timing. She was still with this dude for an extended period of time. So it's still about the relationship is what I'm touching on. He was a rebound dude. She would have dumped the rebound dude. The rebound dude almost always gets dumped. But this rebound dude had the major come up. So love was able to flourish.
All right, we got to move on because I'm trying to stick to a certain time frame. I'm testing a theory out.
it's not gonna work. I've had a long day. A long day.
That means it will work then.
No, that means I'm hyped up from the discussion. The
Oh.
6-hour discussion we had, was it, Mickey?
What boy? Will y'all? If some of y'all could actually look at some of our messengers and messages
No,
that we
I'm
be
talking
doing
about
against each other, it's another show.
What did I miss today?
We did it today.
I wasn't in there today because I was on a 6-hour forum today.
Awesome, Tracy. What was it about?
Third party candidates, getting them elected.
Yeah, that was today.
Cool.
From 9:30, we didn't get done till 1:30.
No,
That's a long fast time.
Yeah, that is a long. So I've had a long day.
Doing all that. No. So we're gonna move on to the next one so I can get my bearings back from that. I don't want no subject that long.
You're talking about we do 3 hours a night here.
Every week.
Yeah, we do kind of do 6 hours a week.
Yeah.
All right. This one I already got my answer to it off the bat. So here we go.
Really affecting him. My brother is 15, my sister is 17, and I'm a 23-year-old girl. This is really stupid and it shouldn't have happened, but it did. Now I just want advice on how to make it better. Also, this is the story my brother told me as I wasn't there. He was in his room playing on his phone minding his own business. He got up to take out the trash and he came back to lay down in his bed. As he was laying down, he noticed their dog walking out of his room, but he ignored it. Later on, his 17-year-old sister noticed that her clothes were missing. She went looking for them and found them in my brother's room. The problem was that it was wet and slimy. She immediately told our parents, and they thought the worst. My dad, mom, and brother argued about it. Rude things were said. Apparently, mom said I knew you were weird, but not this weird. My dad said that he raised a predator. In the end, my parents asked me to pick him up and let him stay with me for a couple of days. When I picked him up, he didn't say anything and just sat in silence. He spent the entire time in the room that he was staying in. He came out for dinner, but he skipped breakfast and lunch. His eyes were always red when he came out, so I assume he was crying. I've never seen him cry. Most of the time when he's upset, he's just stone-faced, so what they said must have really got to him. Finally, at the end of the week, our parents called me and they said they wanted to talk to him, so they came over. Before they came over, I tried to talk to him, but he ignored me. When our parents came, they apologized to him. Over the next week, they noticed more of our sister's clothes in his room until one day my dad caught the dog with my sister's clothes. My brother just said okay and went home. I tried to ask my parents if he could stay longer, but they said that wouldn't be necessary. Later on, I got a call from my parents asking me what he did at my house because he's just been in his room all day at their house. Is there anything I can do to help him feel better?
And the answer to that question, sister, nope. There's nothing you can do.
This story is confusing me. What did she do? Like, I'm like, huh, what?
They thought that what was actually the dog chewing on the girl's clothes, they thought he was taking his sister's clothes and jacking off with them.
Oh, I thought they saw he was wearing them. I'm like, they gonna make a big deal about him wearing girls' clothes. Okay, see, I missed it.
The answer to your question, Tracy, yes, you would probably make a big deal out of him wearing his sister's clothes. But what I'm saying here,
is girls wear boys' clothes all the time.
Are we going to pretend like this is the same thing in both directions, Tracy? Really? Is that what conversation we're about to have? But
I'm
anyway,
talking
yeah, all right, whatever. All right, but look, ain't nothing you can do for him but get him therapy
Yep.
and get him the hell up out that house.
Also, yep.
Because he gonna snap and hurt somebody or himself. Because you don't walk back your parents, one, calling you a predator, and two, sending you away, and three, saying they always thought something was wrong with you. You don't, you know.
Yeah, even after the
don't
apology,
have
they
that.
was like,
No.
how did he act in
And
the
by the
room?
way, there was a fourth one. There is
Yeah.
a fourth one.
There's a
If
fourth
you
one.
thought your son was a predator and all those bad things,
Why didn't you call the police?
no, why did you send him to his other sister's house? Like,
They don't
what
care
was
nothing
your
about that
logic
boy.
on that one?
They don't care nothing about that boy. He's a quiet loner. He's probably reclusive, but he don't bother nobody. He just manages his own business. Y'all decided to immediately think the worst of him. And I'm a little wondering about the dad. Because
why did your mind go there
Yeah,
well, I'm not even
that's
saying that.
immediately?
I'm not
I would
saying
have
that
thought the
part.
dog chewed on the clothes. I'd have thought, well, maybe they dropped him in the tub. I would have thought
Right.
a whole
There's so
bunch
many-
of other things. I would have thought, gee, my child is getting excited over his sister's clothes. That's like the last
Because-
thing
Right,
that
that's
I would
not the
even
first
get
place
in
you
my
go.
mind.
Tracy, because they was always thinking that.
They always thought that. They
They
were
always-
They
projecting.
would have had to be, because I'm like,
But
what?
here's the thing, though. This is why I said I'm really suspect about the dad. How the hell he don't know what sperm is like? He makes his own,
Apparently,
so he knows
allegedly.
how this stuff works. So I'm just like, the whole
Wait a minute,
thing
pick up Mickey's
is
comment,
foreign.
because I couldn't read it fast enough. You went too
Sorry.
fast.
I call bull when the dog tried to close or anything. The part that the dog's mouth is
Yeah,
fucking wet.
that
The
is.
parents have to know that no matter how much some men brag, they do not ejaculate
Thank you.
that much.
That's my
Yeah,
point.
I was gonna say they really don't.
Now, the
Unless I
mom
done.
can be oblivious because she ain't giving dad none anyway. But the dad, he should know better. I don't care how, even if his wife is the only woman he's ever been with and they've had sex 3 times because they have 3 children,
Right.
even if that's the reality, he should know better. But that's getting in the weeds. The fact is, you just damaged your child on a psychic level.
I don't
And
think
by
the
the
kid
way,
should go
the
back. I
person-
think he should refuse. I'm like, nope, I ain't coming back. Nope, that's it. I'm out. I don't want to
Where's
come
he
back
gonna
here.
go? He's-
No,
was he
Tracy,
15?
he's already
17?
damaged. He's already damaged. He is gone. I'm exactly what Thea said. You need to get him to therapy and get him out that house at the exact
Yeah,
same
he doesn't
time.
need to be going
He's
because
gone.
even when they apologized, they were still like, well, how did he act in this room?
They still
Because they
suspicious.
so arrogant.
Yeah, they're
you know,
still,
they thought he was gonna go
like-
right back to
So
okay. You just called me a predator, and my mom, the mom that raised me, the mom that gave birth to me, always
Yeah.
knew I was weird, but she didn't know I was this weird. But we're gonna go back to normal now.
on
Since you
top of that-
apologized.
And the sister is a low down piece of garbage. She's sitting there knowing that he didn't do nothing. Just
She doesn't know. The sister didn't know. Neither of the
sister didn't
sisters
know.
She wasn't there, is what she was
Neither of the
told.
sisters knew what was going on. So the first sister, the younger sister, she just made an assumption because she don't know nothing about human biology yet. So she was just whatever. But my thing though, and I had missed this part of all the psychic damage it did to this child. You not only did you call him a predator, not only did you say that you always thought something was wrong with him, but you said that he wanted to have sex with his own sister.
yeah, where did they jump?
The levels of damage you just did to that boy.
Yeah.
He ain't never gonna be right. But get him somewhere, send him to
Away from
I don't know
them.
what you do with him. I don't know what you do with him.
Send them
Because
up.
when you
Don't
send
let
him away,
them.
No,
send him
I'm
away,
going
you
about
reinforce.
what you said.
Therapy, but don't let him live in that
Out of that
house.
house, and he needs therapy.
He needs to live with the brother and get some therapy because them parents are just
the
something
best
else.
option is for him to go live with his sister, but is his sister equipped to help him through what he's going to be going
Well,
through?
he was already living with the brother, wasn't he?
No, he was living
No,
with his parents.
that's a family.
His parents and
Or
his
the
younger
father's
sister
sister.
he lived
Yeah.
with.
Oh,
His
that was
big
his sister.
sister-
I thought it
yeah.
was his
His
big brother. He
sister
was
is
little.
out of the
Okay.
house. So
Okay.
on one hand is he needs out of the house, send him to his sister. But the same thing, his sister's 23 years old. She's trying to grow up and live her own life. Is it fair? And is she even capable and equipped to take on that type of damage?
They need
Because
to
it's not
find
like
out.
he's just coming as a rebellious youth. He's coming as a damaged person,
Damage.
right? So
Right.
then you have, okay, well, if we keep him in the house, then you really, really need amazing therapy that's focused on the family and him, right?
Mhm.
Because they need to
Mhm.
they got to fix their mess, and he needs help finding out a way to fix himself, right? So that's probably the best case scenario. That one, he stays in the house, but everybody got to go through intensive counseling. Because my concern with if you send him out the house, I don't care if you send him to his sister, I don't care if you send him to an aunt or an uncle, I don't care if you send him to the grandparents. At the end of the day, on top of everything you just did to me, you rejected me and threw me away like I didn't matter to you. So it's like you put this is a no-win situation for this young man. I'm like, this is horrid.
Them parents are garbage. CPS. Somebody call Child Protective Service because these parents ain't right. Who was it? Like, if I had children, I don't have any, but if I had children, son and daughter, I'm never thinking, gee, he's really looking at her way at that. That doesn't even enter into my mind. What were they thinking? Like, are they
And the
cousins or
children think,
something?
man, it's just
Like what? Huh? What?
the whole thing. Horrid.
Mhm.
Horrid.
All right,
Because
we're
I'm
gonna
sitting
go
here
to
thinking
the.
about how he's going to adjust after this. And so it's
Me
like,
too.
I mean, it's easy to look at all the damage that was just done, but it's like you, once the damage is inflicted,
She's gonna
it
sit there
doesn't
and
go away.
recycle it.
Right.
And that's
He's
what
got to
I'm saying. That's
relive
what
it
makes me
over.
so mad was he
Mhm.
was so delusional, so arrogant, so self-centered, so egotistical that they thought all we got to do now is apologize and bring you home.
They
And
didn't
you thought everything was
apologize.
gonna be hunky-dory and we back to normal. You destroyed this boy. I'm gonna tell you off the bat
But
now. You have
Marlon, they
destroyed
didn't
this boy mentally.
apologize.
I
He
think they
is not
did.
gonna
They
They
be
apologized,
never,
and then it's
no,
like
because
everything
they would
was
have
okay.
never asked, what was he doing in his room?
No, I
That's
mean they
not an
apologized to
apology.
him. They didn't mean it, but they apologized to
Yeah,
him
they
to get it
clearly
behind
didn't
them.
mean it.
even
But
if
you
they
know what?
meant it. Even if
This
they
is,
meant it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
and this may be a
One thing that
hypothetical.
sticks out in my head the most in all of this, and I'm sorry that I keep harping on it, but it's still the mama who flat out said, I knew you was weird. I just did not know you was that weird. That means to tell me my mom, whether
Always
I
thought
did
something
something
wrong
or
with it.
not, always thought I was weird, and you was just waiting for me to what? Prove
Do
it to
something,
you or
prove
something
something to
like
you. Like, lady,
that.
come on.
Y'all are a trip.
But
Y'all
see,
are a soul trip.
now
CPS.
I'm a bend the corner. I'm gonna turn the corner on this a little bit, right? Because this could be a real story or a not real story. We don't know because it's really messed up stuff happens in the world. So this very well could be a real story. But think about all the young child runaways that we hear about all the time
Yeah.
that have been raped by someone in the family or a friend of the family, and no one believed them, and they cast aspersions on them, especially the young girls, where they're
Yep.
constantly being told, did you seduce this person? Why'd you dress this way or whatever?
Yep.
Like you brought it on yourself. Or the children who, you know, are in this type of a situation where there's no way to really help them heal from whatever damage was done to them. So they run away. Like these people are all around us. And a lot of them are shoved into prisons and nobody thinks about them again because they did something after the trauma to survive. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is the kind of stuff that I would like for people to think even beyond the story that Marlon just shared with us and realize this is a real life application, right? In fact, not only is this a real life from the standpoint of like runaways and people in prison and stuff like that, these are people on your job who are trying to cope with childhood traumas, young adult traumas, college traumas, what have you, and they're functioning as best they can around you. And you don't know what the person next to you has been through. You don't know what they're recovering from. So it's like this is all around us, but because we have the option and the luxury of not focusing on it unless it was us, it just gets untreated, and then we just wait for somebody to act out and we punish them. Off
And
my
the
soap.
more that somebody goes through childhood trauma, the more their immune system turns on them, and they will have terrible health outcomes. They have a whole scale of, asking how many childhood traumas have you gone through? And basically, an average American has anywhere from 4 to 7 of the 10.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, once again, this is anecdotal. And it's weird. It's strange how like I look at things the way that I do. Because straight up and down, I had an amazing childhood. Right? Everything that
too.
went wrong
Yeah,
went
pretty good
wrong with
childhood.
like
Yeah.
other people around me. Like
Yep.
I was unscathed. But I can't help but think about these people. You know?
Yeah, I
Absolutely
can't say
right.
I had a great childhood. I'm kind of glad to be in adulthood. It wasn't nothing like what we just heard about, but I've had definitely a better adulthood than childhood.
But I know that dog need to get out the house.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna blame that dog for something else.
Yep.
That
Oh
dog
no, the
already.
dog gone.
Come
The
on,
dog
The
man.
dog,
No,
that
them
child,
parents
the dog
need
is-
to.
get out.
Those
dog is
parents
gone
need
because
to
they're gonna
be
have to blame
reported to
somebody other
see
than
Child
themselves.
Protective Services because they messed up. How you gonna think? I always thought something was wrong. Why would you say that to your child?
Because
Why?
you think he's a predator.
They're going to get rid of the dog because they're going to have to blame somebody else. It
And they
has
need to
go
look
on.
in the mirror and blame their
They ain't
own
gonna do
crappy
that.
self.
They
'Cause
ain't
it's
gonna
You
do
know
their
what I
fault.
want to do. You know what I want to do. But I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
You
And
don't know what you
parents,
want to do.
masturbation is
bet
one
this
of the
weird ass
most
family makes it to
natural
church
things in
every
the
Sunday.
world. Do
Wait a minute,
not
you and
let
Ann
your
are talking
kids
at the same
feel.
time. I can't.
I got whoa. I got several conversations going on at the
Yeah,
same
I was
time.
like, Anna,
Go-
what'd you say,
Go
Anna?
ahead,
Go
Anna.
ahead, Anna.
I said, parents, masturbation is one of the most natural things in the world. Do not let your children feel like they have done something wrong, even if that was the issue.
Oh hell, no. You not gonna masturbate on your sister's clothes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a
That one
discussion
we
about
ain't
that
gonna
one
do.
now.
We not
We
gonna do that
really
one.
do have to like.
We not gonna do that.
I
Now,
don't think
you
Anna
do-
was talking about on the sister's clothes. I think she was talking
Yeah.
about in general.
Just,
Okay.
thank you, Tracy.
Not to put words in your mouth,
It
Anna,
came
because I
out. I'm
wouldn't do
sorry.
that. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't think she was talking about doing it on the sister's clothes.
I'm sorry, because she said if that was the issue, and that's where I took. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Look, you
Otherwise, I agree with you.
there is absolutely nothing wrong with masturbation. All I'm just saying is stop running my water bill up
Or using up all my toilet tissue.
or using up all my toilet paper. Well, can you give me my lotion back? That's all I'm asking.
Hey, anybody who's got teenage sons, okay, make sure you get at least 2-ply toilet tissue. Don't worry about how fast it go away. Okay, just leave it alone. Okay. If you're going to buy facial tissue, don't get that stuff that got that scent in it. Don't do that. Okay, don't do that to that child. And I would recommend this is the time to transition your child to having a healthy amount of white socks. Okay, make sure all his socks ain't black. Okay, get him some white socks. This is gonna help you. This is gonna help you. Okay. So I'm just saying, and no matter if you got a boy or a girl, once they 12 years old, they're about, don't just walk up in their room. Okay, make noise as you approach.
Not
this
on
is
the
not
damn.
a need.
Oh, not in my
Not
house. I'll walk in any door I want.
I'm not. That's fine, Tracy. You missed
Go
my point.
ahead.
I said
Go ahead.
make.
I mean,
some
wait a minute.
noise.
How many?
No, Tracy, no. Go ahead. Walk up
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
because then I'm like, wait a minute, what I see? Then I'll be like, ah,
Because are you gonna traumatize your child because you feel entitled to go wherever you want to?
although technically
I'm telling you this right now.
Technically, you can. It's
You
your
ain't
house.
traumatizing the boy. Tell you that off the bat. You ain't traumatizing. You just caught him, but he ain't stopping.
He's not gonna
Yes, the
stop.
hell he will.
Like,
no, he's
yeah,
just gonna do it
won't.
other places. I mean,
He'll
that's
just go and look. Yeah. He'll
No,
put
I mean in
something
the
on
moment.
door from this point on.
In the
It's
moment.
going to happen. The showers are going to be longer.
So he'll compensate. I'm saying in that moment, Why traumatize your child and yourself?
Yeah, I just thought about that. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't have little children running around here. So I'm like, oh
them
Lord.
have-
All right. We gotta
What
stop. So we gotta
happens
go on to the
next
next
is a
story.
great question.
We gotta go on to the next story. I'm just letting you know. Don't walk up in some teenager's room.
Can we have a story that's not incestuous?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please, a normal
Yes,
room.
we will. Yes, this next story has nothing to do with sexuality whatsoever. Matter of fact, I kind of want to think none of the rest of them do. So here we go.
We've been in a relationship for 4 years and lived together. It's the first serious relationship for both of us, and although it hasn't always been easy, we've never had any significant problems. We're on the same page on most topics: racism, politics, finances, etc. Or so I thought, at least. Now with all these issues going on, we're talking about race a bit more than usual. For the record, I'm biracial, but I have what most consider Eurocentric features, so a lot of times people can't really tell where I'm from. Fast forward a few days ago. We were watching 12 Years a Slave, and I made some comments about how horrible slavery was. That's when he dropped the bomb that I actually shouldn't criticize slavery at all, since I look white enough that I would have benefited from the system. Honestly, it felt like he wanted to say that for a long time. I asked him what the F he meant by that, and he said that me complaining about racism belittles the experience of black people. I told him that I wouldn't have benefited from slavery at all, since I'm literally 50% black despite my looks. He said that even if I didn't directly benefit, I would have lived a comfortable life in that era. I asked how, and he said that slave owners kept mixed women as mistresses, so I would have spent most of my time being treated well and, quote, popping out white babies. He made it sound like it was a complete luxury. At this point, I was so appalled that I called him an ignorant idiot, and we started arguing. He said that I'm just an exotic-looking white girl who's trying to feel oppressed, and that I'm just as privileged as him. I told him that he really has no idea what he's talking about, and then he started ignoring me. We haven't spoken for a few days, although he tried to initiate intercourse a few times and seems to be warming up to me again, and I really don't know what to do. He's never said something so ridiculous. I'm just so angry at his stupid comments and immaturity.
Okay, since everybody quiet, I'll go first.
I'm being nice.
I'm really trying here.
I'll go first. First of all, let's make this perfectly clear so everybody would know where I'm coming from, so we will never ever have this discussion ever again. Okay? You cannot put a good spin on slavery. Period. There is no good spin about it. I don't care what race you are, creed, or religion. There is not a good spin on slavery. That's like trying to put a good fucking spin on the Holocaust. There is zero. There is none. There is nada. Either you benefited from slavery or you was oppressed from slavery. That's it. There's no middle ground. It's not black and white. There's no nuances. There is none of that stuff. Either you benefited or you was torn down from it. That's it. Number two, young man, you are a glittering moron when you have no idea what the hell you talking about, because it has been said 50 million times, one drop of black blood makes you black. They have said that. Not us. They have said that. One drop of black blood makes you black. This woman is 50%. Number three, and I don't even know what you were thinking when you said this. You would have been just sitting up there in a lap of luxury popping out white babies. Like, this sounds like you was just in a, I don't even know what the hell kind of messed
Fantasy.
up, backwards, racist piece of garbage mentality was that statement? I don't know what to do with this dude.
Oh, I know
Sweetheart,
what to do with
you
him.
need to get the
Oh,
hell up out of Dodge.
Get out.
You need
leave.
to get up out of here.
Leave that fool right where he at. Because he gonna make somebody act like one.
He is.
I mean, boy, I'm out of my character,
He
but I'm.
was comfortable saying that to you. He gonna wind up being comfortable to say that to somebody else.
He gonna say
And
that
it ain't
to.
gonna be no, I'm warming back. He warming back up to me.
I'd have packed my bags and been like, I'm out. I see you later. Adios. However else you say, sayonara, goodbye. See, don't call me, don't text me. Lose my number. You make America great again, supporter. Shut up. I wouldn't tell him nothing. I would be gone. I'm gone. I don't got nothing listening to you. No, I'm leaving. Let him be stuck with that lease. And how does he know she can pass? Sure, she may look white, but like Marlon said, she's a black woman. And I wish somebody would do this. I wish. He's gonna mess around and he's gonna find out.
And Parker sitting there talking about this story's made up.
This one, unfortunately, I think might be true.
Oh, I'm going with this one being real.
I think this one is real.
This is no more than that dude got real comfortable.
Because to him, she looked white enough, so it wasn't like he was dating somebody like my skin
Oh,
shade.
by the way, dude, I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that you actually understand that you were privileged. I appreciate that you flat out said you have the same amount of privilege as I did. So
yeah, thank
really
you.
Appreciate that you understand that you were privileged.
Does he want her to call him master all the time, or what is he? How is she supposed to?
No, because what he is trying to say is, even though I know you 50% white, 50% black, you look white enough that you got the same stuff as white people. So you try to play the victim of being black people, which that's why I said you're a freaking bigot and a racist, because you figure anybody that's black is playing the victim. So
romanticizing rape.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. He gonna mess around. He gonna say it to the wrong black person. Hey.
Diaz, you got 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll give you 20.
All right. So first of all, straight up, I don't think the story is 100% accurate. It may be embellished a bit, I would say, but I think people are kind of looking at it a different kind. I look at it a different kind of way. First of all, I don't feel no kind of sorry for her. I just don't, because at the end of the story, it was not I left him. It was we trying to work this shit out. So this person just basically expressed to you how he views not just slavery, but women, right? Because he kind of equated you to being a bed wench, right? So you got that part of it. So you chose Chad, and Chad is being Chad. I can't really feel for you too much. You know what I mean? So, because you don't have no respect for yourself and your blood. So why should I care? So, do your thing, whatever. And then if he's saying that she would have benefited and just been a concubine or a house slave or whatever because of her ability to quote unquote pass, in a way, that is a true statement. It's just a fucked up statement. You know what I'm saying? So you're basically saying out of all the prisoners, you would have had the best conditions at the prison.
Yeah, you could still been in prison. You would still, don't get it wrong, you still in prison, but you would have been at the top.
Right. You would have been like, you would have got to work in the kitchen, and maybe you would have got to come to the warden's office. You know what I mean? Like, that's how he kind of presented it. So I'm like, she didn't check it, So and then kind of pivot, just to kind of the one part of what he was saying that does translate. You got to understand, when people are being an asshole towards you, a lot of times they will use some facts up in there, right? So what he was trying to convey in a messed up way is that he can't see how she can relate to the black experience because in his eyes
She's
she
white.
got an exception,
Yeah.
right? So slavery was just a messed up backdrop to the conversation, but bring it into the present. And what he's basically saying is, as bad as we might think black people have it, you can't relate to that because nothing in your lived experience would have subjected you to what people like you actually have to deal with. That's in the present moment, right? So I think it's too easy to get spun up on how someone perceives slavery because, in a manner of speaking, none of us are actually taught about it. So you're dealing with a group of people, aka white folk, who, if they haven't done studies on it, they haven't delved into it, they truly do not understand it. They have the same level of education about slavery that you have about slavery, minus what you've learned through family and self-study. So he will say ignorant things. That's one of the reasons why I think a lot of times white people and black people have such a hard time really getting real on a conversation, because the white person is scared of saying the wrong thing, and the black person is waiting for you to say the wrong thing. So
I don't think she was waiting on him to say the wrong thing.
I'm not saying that. I had kind of pivoted off of that. But what I'm saying, though, in her particular case, remember how she started the story. We agree on most things, including politics and race. And then she said, on this, it departed. So what are your views on race, ma'am? What kind of conversations have you had, ma'am? Is it that he is a faux liberal who focuses on the not in my backyard mentality, where I want better for these poor, humbled masses just not to have all that I have? Or is he an imperfect ally who actually wants to make things better for black people, but he holds certain biases on the inside that makes him say dumbass shit? Or is he actually a closeted racist? That could be true as well. From what she gave us, we do not know which of those three he is. All we know is that he is a bad person for having a whole future with. Because if you decide to have children, your children will be 1/4 or 1/8 black. So where does that one flow? Your children could come out like Meghan Markle's kids and look white as hell, but they will know their ancestry.
But then I got problems with her too, stupid. Because
hold on, Tracy. Let me answer this real quick. From what his statement to her was, you are just as you can pass for white. I'm just saying it verbatim. Mm-hmm. You can pass for white just like me, so you're just as privileged as I was. So he said he was white. That statement that he too was white, because he's saying you have the same features as I do. No, so you're just as privileged as I am. So stop trying to make yourself a victim as they.
Which is why I was saying he could be, because you got to remember how I view about allies, right? Allies aren't perfect. They're not you. Okay? So he very well could be one of those imperfect allies. He don't sound like the kind of dude you need to have a family with, but he could very well be one of those guys where he literally wants to do right, but he's been programmed with dumbass shit. And he says things like this. So I'm just confused at why the story didn't end with, I miss him.
Here's my thing. That's what makes me look at her sideways. We agree even about race. Okay, what is it that you agree about with race? Because if you
question it now,
it's like, wait a minute, but if you agree about race, you would know that she's black, and as a black woman, she's gonna have certain.
Tracy, I can speak to that. That's what I'm saying. They agreed upon race up until this particular moment.
But what was it?
When
Were they talking about brown people, Asian people?
no,
What were
they could
they?
have been talking straight up about black people. Remember the context in which this happened, right? So that's why I'm saying on the most generous take, he could be an imperfect ally. In that, he's been doing all the right things. His intentions are all the right ways, but he himself has biases inside that he has not reconciled yet, right? So up
That's
until now,
comfortable.
they could agree on housing reform, criminal justice reform. They could agree on reparations. They could agree on all of the policy issues that affect the black community. They could be in lockstep on every last bit of that. Where it got messed up is where he has not fully reconciled. And they watched this movie that made them look at the black experience in a different way. So when she, a white appearing woman, is sitting here talking about how horrible they treated her people,
Yeah.
he, as a latte liberal, looks at it and be like, what the hell are you talking
You're
about?
white. You're white just like I'm white. What are you talking about?
You white every day of the week.
Yeah.
And this
Every
one day,
you are white. But in this movie, now you want to talk about your people?
Because it could literally be a possibility that they do agree on the oppression of black people.
Mhm.
But in his mind, it's like
it wasn't that bad. It was
no.
they disagreed.
He could agree with that. It was that bad. It's that awful. You treat black people wrong. Blah 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 blah. But he switched from her and looks at her and go, "What the hell are you talking about? You have never experienced that. Probably not even knowing if she experienced it or not. By the way, looks at her, seeing her fair skin and her looking white and going." You may know what the black people are going through, but you don't feel every day what black people go
a
through.
really big part.
Yeah.
We don't know nothing about this woman.
Yeah, I was just gonna
So we
say.
don't
Yeah,
know
because she could have been
if every
masquerading
day she identifies.
as
You
black.
don't have to like verbally say what you are. You walk in a certain manner. So if you walk in white privilege all the time, he's with you. He knows you. Okay? You walk in white privilege all the time. But now when we watching this movie, now you want to separate from me. Now I'm the evil oppressor and you are the poor black person. Okay. And then they start saying dumb shit.
On a woman, so
Why
Yeah.
did it go? Why
So-
did it go so personal though?
Because and that's what I'm
Why
saying.
was he suddenly the master and she's suddenly the slave? Like,
Because those are the narratives that are immediately laid out for the black and white dynamic. Because the number of abolitionists were always minuscule. And the number of abolitionists didn't grow until the very end when they were finally able to use some political power to push back hard enough and then get Lincoln and all those things. But the narrative is white slave owner and their legions and black slave. Right? That's the overarching narrative. So he chose a side, assigned her a side, right? And I don't know if this is the case, but you got to understand how I look at these situations. I'm very pro-black. I ain't got a whole lot of patience for white culture or any of that shit. Y'all know that. But if you're going to deal with somebody, you got to try to give them the space to either be right, wrong, or on their way. Right. So in his particular case, before I'll just completely toss his dumb ass out. If he says something like that to my sister, I gotta handle it. But if before I just toss him out, I try to figure out where's this cat really coming from. Right. So I think the relationship should be over because he basically just called you a bed wench. That's what he just did. He insulted your gender and your ethnicity.
Yeah.
At one shot. Right. But in his awkward way, he might be thinking, well, mathematically speaking, that's still better than if you actually look like you were black.
And with that, folks, we are going into the second half. We're going to take a 3-minute
Watch that get
break
chopped up and it seemed like I said something crazy.
with that flag behind you. So we're going to reboot and refresh, and we will see you all on the
So
other
pretty.
side for Am I the A-Hole and Foxy's videos of the week. Please don't forget to hit that like button, and we will see you on the other side.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, finally. I always stay dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, higher to a bird. You, I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, finally.
We are back for the second hour. Not bad. We're going to move a little quicker here, but not bad. Diaz messed it up by going 5 minutes over, but we're going to go there.
I'll make up for it right now.
Absolutely not. How many times have he said that and didn't? And literally didn't. Plus, he got that flag behind him now. He pumped. There ain't no stopping him now. But as always, before we even move on, we're going to go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go to Patreon/TracyMedia.com. Help her out with whatever cause that she's in right now. Please do not forget to go to Patreon.com/Complex Mind. That is for Theas with all his causes. Please help him out with all his causes. Please do not forget to go to my Patreon page, Radical Truth to Power. Patreon.com, Radical Truth to Power, exactly the way it's spelled, capital R, capital T, capital T, capital P. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's Patreon, AITAH Heart's website, BorrelliaEtc.com. Learn something that you probably didn't think you needed to learn, but you do. And do not forget that tomorrow is not Radical Truth to Power's new time, but it is. Duh. Radical Truth to Power tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's not a new time. We've been doing 8 o'clock for a while now, but I just forgot to change that, and I'm not going to do it now. I'm getting better. I'm getting a little better with that. Getting a little quicker. Let me see. Would a group of only white people be able to have such a nuanced discussion, do you all think? No.
I don't know. They might.
I don't.
It's possible.
I ain't never been around a group of white folks who talk about it like that.
And I've never seen it.
But I'm saying, like, check this out. All right. Once again, I study the other side as best I can. They might have the discussion. It just wouldn't look like how we have the discussion, right? Because they're coming from a different side of the issue. So I think it's unfair to expect a group of white people to have this discussion the same way. Like, it would probably sound different because the background is different, right? It's kind of like when I listen to a group of white folk talk about religion, and I'm sitting there like, that's an interesting take, right? But they're coming from their collection of lenses. Put a group of black folk together, we're gonna have a whole different nuanced discussion as well. So I think it's possible. I just don't think it would sound the same way.
Well, Mickey, you know what?
You got a point.
I didn't say that. He said that. I didn't say that.
No. He said he never seen
You
it.
know, Mark said never seen it. It's like you wouldn't see it. It's all white people.
Well, no, wait. Here we go. But no, I haven't been part of it because there's no way I could be part of it because you're talking about all white folks. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't be able to see it because just like you can tune in and watch us, we should be able to tune in. Like I do, you know. And I think I have heard. Usually, it's white women talking about it. It's a little funny when I hear them doing it. But no, like Tim Wise, he'll be talking to a room full of white folk. Now he's not usually on an all-white panel though.
Yeah, I want
Yeah, I
to
don't know.
see an all-white
I'd be interested
panel
in seeing
have
it.
a discussion like we have discussions about slavery and minority injustice in this country. I want to see it all. I just literally want to see it. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm saying I just want to see how it's carried out.
I think if we do it though, I would like to see it not with a bunch of, like, I'm just going to pick a school, Harvard educated white folk pontificating upon slavery because they've read 352 books and wrote a stage play, right? If you really want to get at it, like, and I'm sure they're out there, like, for real. This is YouTube, okay?
Hold on.
A stage play.
I want to see the stage play, though. I seriously do want to see. I'm not even a stage play person, but I want a group of white people
Roots,
to
the
get
musical.
together
No.
and write a stage play about what I just said. I'm sorry. I will be in the front damn row of this. I want to see this one.
I would never. Nope. Don't have to worry about me. And
I'm with you, Tracy. I don't need
and you know I love stage theater. I'm gonna stay away from that one. Nah, y'all can have
feel about stage plays. You know how I feel about it. I guarantee you, I don't even care what time that ticket box open. I'm gonna be in that damn thing.
I think I'm gonna skip that one
and buy me a ticket. I'm gonna be sitting there like this in front of the stage the whole time.
Yeah, but I just think it's not
Roots the musical.
Fair.
It's not gonna.
I don't.
Roots the musical. We
stuck on Roots.
Yes, because that's like the most idiotic. No, it's not. That's not the most idiotic.
Worse.
Yeah, we've had worse out there.
We've had
but
worse.
What I'm saying is, I think that it is not just possible. I would say that it's likely that the discussions have been had. I'm almost certain you can find them on YouTube. I also would go so far as to say that they're not all going to be bad, but it's going to be a different perspective, right? But what I would, if I did happen to find one of these videos, I would be looking to see, are they being sincere, right? Or are they just kind of telling me the black story
Are they showing off their
with what,
knowledge?
right? Like
Yeah.
really more like, if you want, I think, and this is might not be very charitable, but I think for a group of white people to have this conversation, you would be more like saying, let's walk through American history. Because me personally, it's they oftentimes fumble and stumble when you isolate it to slavery, because then it's all like conceptualized and all of those different things, But I mean, yeah, there's the abolitionist angle, there's the slaveholder angle, there's the overseer angle, there's the women's angle. There's all kinds of different ways they could come at that discussion.
Well, we're
And
gonna go
I've
ahead.
seen it go that way quite a few times. However, most of the time, like when I bring up some of the details, people want to get off that subject.
Really
But that's
quick.
in daily life. That's not in front of a camera.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and jump into Am I the A-hole? And like I said, this is in Thea's wheelhouse. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you the
That's this
spoiler
one?
of it. Yeah, this is it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and give you the spoiler of it. I'm 50-50. I can see it both ways. I personally don't see anybody being the a-hole, and it can flip either way. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it.
Am I the butthole for buying personalized stationery for my daughter so that it can't be redistributed in class? My 9-year-old daughter, Mia, started a new school recently. I got a list of supplies that the teacher required, plus extras like extra packs of crayons, etc. You know the deal. While I don't necessarily agree with this, it's not a hill that I'm willing to die on, so I got everything on the list. However, I also got my child her own supplies. Now, the list didn't say not to label them. Mia is very particular about what kind of stationery she likes. I've heard horror stories of kids' stuff being redistributed and then ending up with sucky supplies. So I sat down with Mia and got her personalized binders, notebooks, and pencils with her name from Etsy. Her name is part of the item itself, so it can't be removed and given to another kid. And like I said, as requested, I bought extra binders. It turns out that I was right to do so. When Mia got home, she brought a passive-aggressive note from the teacher about Mia's supplies. Apparently, she had tried to gather all the kids' supplies and have kids pick new supplies. She requested that I switch Mia's supplies to generic ones, which I'm refusing to do. The teacher now requested that I stop by to have a chat regarding Mia's supplies. I posted in a local Facebook group, and parents are divided, so I need another opinion before I can go meet with Mia's teacher. Am I the butthole for buying my child's personalized stationery so it can't be taken away from her? Wait, hold.
What a pathetic school. Is it come down to this? Like we're asking parents to buy school supply? I thought that was the school's job.
No, it hasn't been that in decades.
Maybe I'm just old. Because I'm like, I do not remember buying, I had my own little notebook. Okay, I put my name on mine. But dang, teacher. Like, really?
It wasn't until a while ago, I remember this now, listening to this story. I literally remember them saying, do not put your name on any binder till you get to junior high. So all the way through high school, they literally said, do not label any of your supplies.
But then they're going to take all the supplies and put them in a bunch of big old heap. And I get it. It's for the children that can't afford school supplies. Get it done, got it. But dang. Maybe I'm just talking about a person that personalized everything that she had. So I just put my name on everything.
The thing is, I'm going to let you have it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you have it.
I am on the side of the school um, the way I look at it is, why do you feel that you have to do something different for your child on a bland task, right? So if you feel like, and I've known people like this, and usually it's the mother, but that's just the ones who are most outspoken, I would say. But you feel like your child needs their own stuff. And so my thing is this, like Tracy was touching on, everybody can't afford or whatever. On the school list, especially for a 9-year-old, you're going to see stuff like hand sanitizer, tissue boxes, folders, paper, crayons, color pencils. Okay.
Mhm.
What 9-year-old needs personalized stationery? That's a you problem, Mr. Parent, not the kid's problem. But even so, let's say that's what you want to do. You want to raise your child to think that they're whatever the motivation is behind it. For this, just buy the freaking school supplies, because you'll be the first one to be mad when your child got sick before the other kids got sick and went through their tissue box. And then the teacher says, no, you can't use Mary's tissue. You can only use your tissue. So go to the bathroom and use the toilet tissue, and then make sure your parents send you to school with more tissue. You would be hopping mad. So just be a part of the freaking community. Afterwards, send your little precious daughter with her backpack with her personalized potpourri stationery. Nobody's saying you can't have Mickey Mouse with the red dress on, or Minnie Mouse, or whatever. Nobody's saying your kid can't have it. What we're saying is, for the school supply list, parents, please send bulk supplies, because throughout the year, different children have different needs at different times, and we want to make sure that we can cater to those needs. Not that hard. Just not that hard. So I don't like people like that. That's a selfish mentality that you're pushing onto your child.
But
You
I
want them
just
to have their own
wanted
stuff,
to
get them their own stuff.
decorate my own trapper.
Here,
No one's saying that she can't. My point is, for the school supplies, just do.
Yeah, like she could have had her
freaking told.
own. Yeah, she could have had her own personalized stuff at home. Like
She can
this
bring
is
it
what
to
I.
school.
here's what y'all missed. You know, at least nobody is saying it. And I'm sorry, Diaz, I really listened to you, and you didn't bring it up. And this is why I said, Anna, why it was 50-50. Diaz, I agree with OU. And I even told Foxy this when I heard it, was like, and my 9-year-old daughter is very specific on the stationery. You are very specific stationery lie. Ain't no damn 9-year-old give a rat's ass what piece of paper they drawing on.
Well, they might.
Yeah.
Okay. Say you are. So she
Well,
died. And what?
But what I'm saying, Marlon, everybody.
But
Yeah.
parents,
Yeah.
y'all do cater to y'all children.
Like my daughter is.
What the hell I will? I wish a 9-year-old would come up to me.
You cater to your children. Stop that. You do. In some instances, you say, "Okay, I'll give you this because you want it."
Tracy.
Don't tell me you don't cater to your children.
Whoa.
I'm not saying you always do.
I'm explaining to you. Clothes, I get it. Shoes, I get it.
Right?
I wish the hell my 9-year-old child will walk up to me talk about, I don't want to use this piece of paper. You don't go sit your little ass down some damn well, draw, or my opinion, don't.
But
don't
I'm saying
care.
though,
it's a
what I'm talking about,
paper.
What I'm talking about is broader than that, right?
It's the mother.
What I'm just talking about is just being a member of a community. That's what I'm trying to hit on. You know what I'm saying? Now, the parenting style, I'm with you, Marlon. Ain't no way my 9-year-old gonna tell me that I need to have the yellow notebook paper because it makes me feel sunshiny when I'm at school.
But But you don't
They-
cater to your children in some area. I'm not saying cater to them.
That's not the
That's
point.
not that's. But
if
you're
I must be
trying to
Very
missing it.
different.
Like
I
I
must be
decorate
missing
her room. Like if I decorate her room with her favorite stuffed animals, and when I go to the grocery store, I know she likes these particular snacks, then that's catering to my child. But when I'm talking about a classroom and you are one of many,
Yeah.
this is not the time to plant my flag and basically project myself onto my child and send them out there so that they can try to stun on everybody else, right? So it's just and I'm getting agitated because I see this manifest in different ways, right? That's like when, like in this particular case, let's just use this one. What would have happened? You would have had angry MAGA moms at the school board or the principal's office talking about this school is trying to force socialism on my children because they said
Right.
we all had to be the same. And you know that what happened.
Yeah,
Yep.
they would do that.
You don't
No, yeah.
understand what socialism is. Second of all, fuck you.
okay.
All right. I'm just saying what we need to do is get back to basics. What is it needed to take care of these kids? If you want to make this not be the situation where you have to go out and buy school supplies, because believe me, that stuff gets expensive,
Mm-hmm.
then you should be advocating for policies that would expand how your tax money is used
Yep.
so that the teachers in the schools have all the supplies that they need.
Yeah.
And then if you want to send your child with something extra, then you would be able to do so. But that's not what you want.
And that's where I have to stop you because that was Anna. That's my other 50%, and Mickey said it perfectly. You're missing that she said that she did buy extras for the other children. So she did
I did
buy
miss that part.
other supplies,
If she bought
and,
extra,
and she bought, which is still stupid to me.
But the
and she
rationale
still
that was
bought
laid out is still
special
wrong.
stationery for her child. She did both.
But she felt some kind of way that all the stuff got put into a pile. And my
Yeah.
thing is
But
that
she-
is that's a
yeah.
you problem, and it's a very easily solved you problem. When you sent in the supplies, send in the supplies.
I don't.
The next
but that's my
day,
thing is
send your
why
kid with that
if
stuff.
If she said extra stuff, she said extra stuff. Okay, so she had a list. You said about the list that they sent you, and that mother sent that list, but she also sent her daughter with a special stationery. And now you saying, well, thank you for the whole list of stuff that you agree, but now we want the special stuff that your daughter got too. And that's what I'm saying. That's not like,
Oh,
that's why I'm like 50-50, because like
I'm not
she
50-50.
did your list. She did what your list said.
Mhm.
So now you're saying, don't buy her anything special. Just stick to this list and we done.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying for the school supply request, stick
Yes.
to the damn list.
And she
She
did.
That's
did.
on
That's my
Monday.
point.
That's
She did
okay.
stick to it.
That's Monday. Tuesday, you on in there with your own shit. Because see, what happens is you can send in your little personalized stuff on the same day she take in the regular stuff. We're talking about a 9-year-old. So that means she opened her backpack or carried whatever bags that she had and put them up there. And then stuff got separated. That's what happened. So I don't care if you want your child to have their own stuff.
Okay.
I'm saying if your problem is you sent all this stuff and then your child came back with crappy crap. Send her with the regular stuff.
Oh, now I'm gonna have a problem with that. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh no, wait a minute. As a person who personalized,
You're saying that to the, you're saying to me then, okay, then where's the other shit I just sent you then? Because all you really need to do, because here's what you needed to do, and I wish the teacher would have did it, or even to the other parents. Instead of saying, I sent you the list. You gave me the list. I sent you the stuff. So I would rather you sit here and say, well, ma'am, we need more of the list that we sent you. No, that's not what she's saying. She's saying, please don't send your daughter with special stuff. Send her with the generic stuff. Stick her with the list. And I'm like, wait a minute. I sent the stuff that was on the list. Now, if you want to ask me to send you more stuff on the list, feel free. But don't sit there and tell me, and also make sure that, and maybe that's a better way of saying it. You're literally saying, send me stuff on the list. Also make sure that your daughter has the generic stuff on the list too. It's like, wait a minute.
I see where you're coming from, and now it's going to be more of a personal difference, a personal difference, because as a general rule, I'm just sending the shit that's on the list. Like, this is what I'm doing. And if Maya, or in my case, it would be Layla at this age, and she wants, she likes the Hello Kitty pins or whatever, and then I would send her that, and I'd be like, keep that, these are yours, whatever. What I suspect happened from, one, spending time in these classrooms, and two, just what I know of little kids, is she just took all the shit up in there. And then the teacher had their little feedback or whatever. So if you feel some kind of way about somebody saying something back to you, you really got to check your emotional maturity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people going to say something back. Then you can say, I don't agree with you. Here's the reason why I sent my child this stuff. Right? And then you have that discussion. But that's what I'm saying. This part is more of a personalized difference, right? Because I can concede where you're coming from, Marlon, right? I just, as this parent, wouldn't react that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sent the stuff, and I sent my kid with their own Hello Kitty pencils, and then you sent a note home with my child, or you called me, and you're like, Mr. Robinson, thank you for sending in the school supplies, but we noticed that, Layla has these Hello Kitty pencils, and it's kind of causing a bit of a disturbance in the classroom because all the kids don't have neat little things like that. So could you please not do that? And I'm gonna be like, but
the
I want
teacher is asking
and I'm
for
gonna
an
be,
even
and then I'm
playing
gonna
field.
concede.
No, I disagree with that, and I'm gonna disagree with you. No.
I said this is me as a parent. You
That's
as a
true.
parent could take a different stance. Me as a parent would be like, okay, and then I will have a conversation with my 9-year-old. When you come home from school, we can use these pencils here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we would do. Now, y'all want to go to war over little things?
Nobody's
Y'all
going to war over
I ain't
little
doing it.
I didn't go to war with
them.
them. They went to war with me.
They started it. Now they're going to say, but don't bring. She sent what was on the list as a person.
Your problem
but then
is
there was another little girl who came in, and she had all kinds of really interesting homemade, bought on Etsy things. And so you don't think all the rest of the kids aren't going to be turning around, and you don't think that wouldn't make some kind of a disturbance?
That can happen in any setting. It's like, you know what?
Basically, Anna, they're saying they don't care about that part.
No, but here's what I'm saying. You could go to $1.25 Tree.
Right.
And just buy stickers and put them all under your folder and do you.
Go to where?
$1.25 Tree. I call it $1.25 Tree.
That to kind of not pick a particular store, man.
Yeah, no, that's what they used to be called Dollar Tree. Now everything's $1.25. So I call it $1.25 Tree. Any child who's creative and they got that creative bone in them, like I did, because I used to personalize my own folders, my own trapper keepers, whole bit. Now I didn't do my pencils because they were just pencils, but I've had different color pens, journals, all that stuff. I wasn't trying to show off. I was just creative, so that's what I
You were being
did.
you. You were being an individual.
Yes, and so what's wrong with the parents saying, "Hey, Tracy's creative. Why don't I just let her decorate her own little folders as long as she's not putting anything appropriate?"
But
it doesn't cost. One thing is, it doesn't cost
I'm just
a
saying
whole
where
lot
the
to me.
teacher is coming
It's not
from.
about the money, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, if children are feeling jealous of a $1.25 sticker on a folder, we got other problems that we need to be addressing.
Well, we do.
And here's the deal: even the generic stuff that we send to them,
they gonna still find reasons to tease
really
each other.
Truly generic. We
Nope.
know there are paper where they say make sure that you bring them
The stuff ain't cheap.
bring
No.
them notebook paper. We all know about the notebook paper and I'm trying to find a way of saying this, but we know that really, really thin notebook paper.
That cheap
Paper
stuff
that's paper thin.
that'll
And we
cut your
know
fingers.
the regular
Yes.
size paper. It already splits itself in that situation, and they're trying to make it like, nope, it's the same paper. Like, no, it's not. We all know about the pen. I mean, the pencil that when you write with it, it makes them dark lines. You can see it and everything else. We also know about the cheap pencils where you got to really smash down to read exactly what it is that they wrote, because you can't see a damn thing what they just wrote on there. It does, even the generic things separates themselves from each other.
Well, Marlon, I get that, and like I said, and we probably would not close this particular gap. But what I'm saying though is, if the teacher, like in a typical 9-year-old's classroom, that's third grade, there's anywhere from 28 to 30 plus children in that class. If the teacher feels that to keep whatever classroom discipline or structure that he or she wants to do in that classroom, they say just stick to this supply list.
Mhm.
I just personally don't see why this is the hill to fight on, because you don't have to manage that many personalities at one time, and it's not just going to be the one kid, right? It's going to be like 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I do get it, right? It's not that big a deal, so to speak, but it's also not that big a deal to just stick with the class list. I mean,
All I'm gonna say is she did stick to the class list. She sent the supplies.
She sent the class list. She didn't stick to the class list.
She just made sure her daughter had a little extra.
Do you understand? You just said the same thing I just said.
Yep.
You literally just said the same
You
thing.
literally just said that. Okay.
I see it from what they're saying. This is saying, period.
I didn't say the same thing, but
You just said
no,
she
I
sent what was sent, and she sent a little extra.
This is saying
It's the same freaking
stick to
thing.
the class list.
1 + 1 is 2. I'm sorry, this weird math ain't working for me.
We y'all stop. This is saying stick to the class list, period.
oh
No
yeah, and I'm gonna be like,
no nothing of the ordinary, no
That's all I
personalized nothing. Tracy is saying, I stuck to the class list. You got what you asked for.
you sure
It
did.
ain't my fault that my daughter wanted something specifically for her.
And I was crazy enough to give it to her.
It's literally a contradiction in terms. I'm not saying anybody's wrong for this.
Crazy enough to give your.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your position.
Nothing. I'm sorry, Mom. Something is damn wrong with you when your 9-year-old child wants a special stationery. I mean, what the living?
No, I had my own stationery. I had my stationery.
A special.
I had my own stationery, and I had the T real big, and it was red, and then the R was pink, and the A is yellow, and the C is orange, and the Y was blue.
It's right around this time because you
Right.
ain't
At what point did you
damn station
begin the process?
stationary?
At what point did
I
you
had
begin the
stationery when I was
to
real
teach
young.
someone
I got
that
news
everything
for
ain't
you.
about them?
I got a newsflash for you. I'm not fit to give you specialized stationery, a word that I know damn well you can't pronounce.
Well, no, that my parents didn't give it to me. I mean, they gave me regular paper, but I was like, well, I know what I'm gonna do with this.
You can do whatever you
boom, 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 boom,
notebook. She didn't say the notebook.
Do it at
Stationery.
home.
I work at a certain place where I know what specialized stationery was. And these are for big wig people. Your ass at 9 years old ain't no fucking big wig. So you ain't get specialized.
I'm a big
on
deal at
damn
lunch,
stationery.
I
That's
still
your
don't
damn
see what's
mind.
wrong with the girl having personalized station. I guess I don't
Do
get
it
it.
at home.
You knock yourself out.
When you get home,
School
my daughter
is
has an
all
arts and
about
craft table.
conforming kids to be
That's the
able to
problem.
enter the workplace.
No, you can't. You can't have
Now, Anna, I
32
agree with you.
non-conformist children.
Thank you, Mickey. That's what I
not
said.
what you
She could have did it.
That's what kids do naturally. I bet you all those other
She may
kids
not
are
have.
slaves.
That's an excellent point, Mickey. She may not have been clear about that, and then after the fact, clarified it. But I guess where my biggest contention is just why is it that big a deal? Like,
Because that teacher
just-
snapped the attitude when she would have to.
how is it an attitude? What level? How
I
can
want to
that
have a
feedback come
personal
back?
conference. It's stationary. Just send her email. Hey, we appreciate, we trying to make all the children
That
just
ain't how
alike.
people function. That's not. It's just not. Like, look at how we've just spent this much time talking about third grade stationery. You send that in the email? Oh my goodness.
Anna, did I not call this? Did I not call it? It was gonna be this.
You did.
The Prager guy. Who's the
I don't
Prager
even know what
guy?
that means, so you're gonna have to explain what
Prager
Prager
U.
University?
Yeah,
Dennis
that's-
Prager?
Oh,
That's
that
creepy.
idiot.
Yes.
No,
That was not a
I guess
compliment,
because
Marlon.
I made my own. I'm like, I literally don't get it. I
still
did it.
don't-
I did it
still don't
all
know
through
what's going on.
school. Every year, I'd be like, okay, da da
Who is
da da da.
Dennis Prager? Who is Dennis Prager?
He's a conservative.
Yeah, he's an ultra conservative guy, but his so-called university is masterful at crafting their message to sometimes slide through your radar. They create many of your politicians go through their schooling and courses. A lot of your church people come through that, like your big mega people on that side of the spectrum. Very, very active in politics. Candace Owens is one of his stars.
Oh, hey,
I guess
okay,
I'll put
never
it that
mind. Then that's an insult. Sorry, Susan, that's an insult. Sorry. Me and her ain't never gonna get along. Foxy's videos of the week. This gonna be this. Yeah, I saw that debate too. It was too funny. Huh?
You talking about the one that ended? I don't really.
I was debating him yesterday. Oh, you talking about that?
Oh, that's a different dude.
No,
Anna
that's
debated. What's that guy's name?
I thought it was Dennis Prager.
His name is not Dennis though. She's talking about.
It was the young person. I thought
that,
she went up
no,
against.
it wasn't a young person.
It was
She
Dennis?
wasn't.
It was
Not what I
actually
saw.
Mr. Prager.
I just know his first part of that thing was like, yeah, F them corporations. And we was like, yeah, because they woke.
Yeah, I need somebody to find this woke. That's another one of them words that white folk that got hold of and just screwed it all the way up. Like, the moment your slang gets used on MSNBC, CNN, and Fox,
it's over. Like, stop using it. Come up with something else. Like, stop. That's like me saying get jiggy with it or something.
Being
stupid.
awake a bad thing? I've
been saying that for this.
Because they want to stay asleep. If they're asleep, they're not responsible.
I promise you, I'm gonna move on. Y'all say woke and try to make that. It is almost as if you should have realized that when y'all try to use the dark branding thing and then realize that dark branding became popular and now y'all try to pull away from it. Woke should have been that thing because I'm trying to figure out what exactly is the opposite of woke. And when you say that to them, they don't have an answer. You know how many times I have literally had an argument with somebody on Facebook? That's why I keep being surprised that like nobody that I have never been banned from Facebook because I always say, what's the opposite of woke?
Oh, I asked that once and I was told the opposite of woke is to be, what was it? A patriot or the opposite
No,
of
no,
woke
that's not.
was. But I'm like, these are not the definitions. Like, this is not.
No, yeah, that's
That's
what I'm
not the
saying.
antonym.
When you go somewhere completely different, you are literally going political. And I would literally sit there and tell them, this is not a political statement when I ask this question. What is the opposite of woke? Now, when you start sitting there with the Patriot and America and all this other, I'm not listening to you no more because you're trying to make it political again.
But it's a weird pivot. That's what
I can go into a dictionary and look up the definition of woke.
But they know what you're doing, and that's why they won't give you the word.
And that's where, again, they don't answer me. They'll go somewhere else. They'll go to another person and start talking to them.
Because
like
King once said,
yeah, they love that one. They'll dust out the King off in a minute.
And they only use one quote from King, just one.
Like, y'all killed him though. But the thing though is
I did that one too. I literally told somebody that King said blah 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 blah. And I said, yeah, and your people killed them.
And the part that another one that never gets an answer is when you just basically say, because these are usually when you're talking to someone who has put forth their faith argument for whatever it is that they're advocating for, right? And you just say, well, what part of what you're presenting lines up with what Jesus said?
And you get no answer.
You never get an answer.
You never get an answer.
You can't reconcile it. What you'll get, the response I have received is that, oh, don't go bringing bringing God into politics. But I'm like, literally, that's what we're talking about right now.
That's a person that don't. Nah, I got a whole bunch of stuff.
Religion and my politics separate. Those people, I'm like, if you truly believe, and I know I can't put my faith on you, but on my faith calendar says I can't separate my faith from my politics. Like, my faith literally informs everything about me. How do you break those up? I don't know.
I think what some people mean, like some people mean, is the opposite.
Yeah, that's true.
They mean that, like, I shouldn't take my Christian beliefs and make everybody believe them. Now, that's what I hear from the right. That's what I hear from the right all the time.
That's not even, and thank you, because I get it, but that's not even what we, like, for real. I agree. You shouldn't legislate your faith on others. But what I'm saying is your politics are being informed from somewhere.
Yeah, you're getting
and if you tell me that God is your all in all, then that means wherever you go, you're taking him with you. You're not telling me I have to be a Christian. But what you are saying is that you are modeling Christian ideals, and that tempers how you approach a subject.
And I can tell you, Theo, what the answer is to that. Exactly what you're saying. They're basing their answers off the Old Testament. That's why you're never going to get an answer when you say Jesus.
But they only claim Jesus.
They sure do.
That's the conversation they want to have.
They will claim it, but will they ever quote anything that Jesus says?
Very seldom. They'll twist.
Now, what about the Old Testament?
They always use something in there.
Exactly.
But that's part of how you know you're not, and in my opinion, you're not dealing with someone who's actually of the faith. You're actually dealing with someone who is using the faith as a shield, right? Because it's way too situational, right? When I want something, we go Old Testament. When I want you to be protected from you, then we go New Testament, right? When I did something to offend you, I need grace. But when you do something that offends me, we go into the law. And it's like, wait a minute now.
Mm-hmm.
And neither time are we using it accurately.
And you ain't even got to use the Bible. You literally just said it a few minutes ago. I will literally never forget this in a million years. Trump had 4 years of a hellacious, racist, bigoted, homophobic, everything. The kitten caboodle, I will shoot them, kill them, blah, 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 and everything else. When Biden won, I will never forget the Facebook page where read, well, now we need to come together as a nation and we need to. But I'm just reading this like, so are you admitting without admitting that we wasn't a nation together when we was under Trump?
But he was gonna make America great again, like it was ever
Yeah,
great in the
because
first
they
place.
take Trump and they equate him to David, right? So they
Oh
look
Oh
no,
at
they
no
him.
didn't
no
skip
no
that.
no
Oh no, they
no.
didn't skip that. Mm-mm. No, 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 no,
But no,
no.
I
thing is,
mean, no, I mean, right now they moved into a whole new Messiah complex. But
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying
what I
is,
was gonna say. Yeah, they don't
as
move on.
as
Tracy,
as
they don't move
MAGA was
on.
coming up and it was still pretending to actually be Christian, they would equate Trump to David because they would say that we elected a politician and a leader, not a Messiah or whatever, right? That's why they started. But then they started evolving because now they have their own religion. Like it's not even Christian anymore. It's another religion that is mirroring part of Christianity, but it's its own thing now. And that, to me, it all started with that golden Trump statue. But then, because that was like the golden calf, right? It's like we were seeing,
Oh yeah.
like, you're mirroring this thing that you say you believe in, but you're playing the villain in the story, right? And then you
Yeah.
come over here, and now we're at a point where they call him what orange something
God's
or
chosen. Blah,
right.
blah, 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 blah.
He's now literally like a messiah figure to them. I listened to a breakdown just recently where they have basically moved to where Biden is interrupting God's plan. Because God's plan, see, Jesus is supposed to be the Son of God. But back in those times, Jesus referenced the Son of God and he referenced the Son of Man. And the Son of Man is supposed to help transition into the last days. So that's when Jesus comes back to settle it out. So they actually have elevated Trump to Son of Man status. And they actually believe that Biden is interrupting God's plan because Trump should be the new pre-Messiah to when Jesus comes back. Like they are so far out there. And they have a new Bible where you have the Bible mixed with the founding documents of the United States of America. The Patriot Bible, I think is what they call it. So it's a real thing. So
I got to see this because I can't even. I can't believe it. No, there's no
they
way.
have
No, not the but. No, not the but. No, no, I can't.
they have made. Hold on, here we go. The American Patriots Bible. Get your Patriot Bible now. Order your Patriot Bible today. MAGA Apparel, Patriotic Store. Right?
Please don't say it's signed. Just don't say it's signed.
It may or may not be. I'm not sure. But it's sold in the Christian bookstores. But if you go and you just Google Patriot Bible, it'll take you
we
right
not like this.
to
I promise y'all, we not
right
all
to
like this.
But you're not, and that's the point. That's the salient point that you just hit on.
Yep.
This is not Christianity.
Yep.
Okay? It was, right? These people were Christians. If you ask them, they'll say they are still Christians. But according to the real book, you know a tree by the fruit in which it bears, right? We are literally watching people who have been siphoned off, right? They were already groomed for this because part of what religion, organized religion, does to you is it makes you acceptable or susceptible to certain levels of information or certain levels of programming. You take he went and looked at it. Look at you. So
I'm not looking up that mess. No.
But that's what they did. These people have taken advantage of a group who are wired in such a way that they're susceptible to this. Okay? Because you're taught to take things on faith. You're taught to yield to a higher power or order that you cannot see, question, or understand. You have been groomed for this. Now, if you are of weak mind, or you have whatever certain kind of issues that you may have that makes you like drift in a certain kind of way, that's how you get sucked into this crap. That's how you are not following Jesus. You're not following any of the things that are actually of Christianity, and you're doing this like Christianity light thing, right?
Mhm.
You know, you just get
Patriot
sucked over
Bible.
there.
I'm done.
I'm pulling a line from Anna. I'm pulling
I'm
a line
done.
from
I'm
Anna.
done.
Stop. Please
I'm
stop.
just saying, man, there is a rational
This
explanation for how these people end up where they
I
are.
thought that the MAGA romance novel was bad. No. All I had to do was wait.
You people have literally, at this point in time, have lost your fucking mind. You rearranged
The Bible. Not the Constitution that needs to be thrown away because it's garbage. The Bible. Oh, okay.
No, the Constitution's in there.
Y'all are gone. Y'all are gone.
So a document written by a slave-owning white man is. I'm gonna shut up.
Remember, see, this is why, I mean, you guys know, but people out there, this is why you really have to slow down and process information as it comes to you and not just accept it. Okay, these things have been walked along the way. I am not giving you a conspiracy theory. I am just helping you look at way things flowed. Okay, we already watched where old school conservatism in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s started to warp itself into the political and religious conversation. Okay, that's when you started seeing the trickle down economics, and you started seeing all these policies that say if you would elevate the rich, then they'll take care of the poor, right? They already started twisting some things. Now, here recently in the Jan 6, whatever we call it, hearings, remember, not one, but at least two, because it was, who's the lady? Cheney and Kinzinger, right? Both of them said that the Constitution is a divinely inspired document.
Yep,
Then you started hearing that more often.
Oh my gosh! Why did you have to see?
Y'all,
right?
Y'all are gone, man.
The word of God and the shaping of America. See, so you got to understand that these things are been walking its way through. Because we don't agree with it, we challenge it. But if you're already susceptible to it and you need to be still part of your group, right? Because your group is heading this way. You don't want to be separated from the group. So you roll with them. Now you have a Patriot Bible. You got a golden Trump. You got Trump elevated to being David, but that wasn't good enough. Now we're going to make Trump we're going to make Trump circle disciples and elevate Trump himself to a Messiah complex.
That's why he can do. That's why he thinks he can say anything.
Giuliani,
if he cracks, he will be the perfect Judas. Right now, they're
don't be comparing them to actual disciples. True, not even Judas.
I'm just saying that's the world that we are dealing with. They have twisted all of this together, all of it. The Constitution in their mind has long been synonymous with the Bible. It was like an added book of the Bible in their view, right? It's like a new book in the Bible. America is the new Jerusalem. America is
we're the new Israel.
So if that's how they view it, then if God created Israel and the sacred text came out of Israel, and now America is the new Israel, then the Constitution must be the new holy text coming out of the new Israel. And in order for God to come back, all the power and the people have to come back to Israel. Now, if people are thinking old Israel, they're talking new Israel, because this is supposed to be God's people and God's people are white. That is the world you're wrestling with. I'm going to take everybody back to Sunday school. We wrestle not against, the flesh and blood?
But against principalities in high places.
That is the fight we're dealing with.
Please stop. Please stop.
Yeah,
just
because the
No, I
Patriot
agree.
Bible, I'm
I'm
done.
not
I just I can't. They took the
I'm
they didn't
not.
just
I'm
take
not.
anything. They didn't just
Because
take the Constitution or
all
Magna
I'm
Carta,
hearing right
the
now,
Bible. Oh my
all
gosh!
I'm
But you
hearing.
think no, Marlon, I'm gonna
No,
say this little real quick thing.
go
The
ahead.
problem that people
Don't shoot
have
the
is
messenger.
that they think that this is
No, I'm
all
not.
about a
No,
political
no.
disagreement in a political
It's
battle.
not. It's
For
ideal.
those for
It's
those of
theological.
us on the quote unquote left that aren't woohoo out there, it's political. We think we need to get the right politicians, we need to get the right people, we need to reform the process. And we think that. But we are going up against people who believe this is a holy mission and a holy war. If you have any faith of your own, what could I or anyone else ever say to you to make you reject your faith? Odds are the answer is nothing. That's who we're dealing with.
No,
I
Theus.
know, but can we just stop? Because
Theus, I
it's
have to
just making me
disagree
feel
with
sad on
you.
the inside. It's just
Because
making me feel sad.
literally all I'm hearing is if the sun is in the fifth house and the moon is in the third house and the star is in the northwest and the sands fly east west and the eagle flies over the Dead Sea and all this you look.
Not how
Look,
they're rated it,
no,
but
I'm not gonna get into a rant, but look, because I've said this
But
on
here
many
comes
other
the rant.
occasions, and I'm gonna say this again. When you have to sit there and go through a whole bunch of, I'm gonna bring back the Israelites and Moses, because Moses jumped off the mountain on the left side, on the right side, not the left side, because he knew he was going to be a right Republican and not a left side, because I don't have no time for you, because you literally sat down and with a piece of paper, apparently not from that daughter, because she wouldn't let you use her paper, but from another piece of paper from the school, that you wrote all this crap down and you done came up with it at the top of your head. And then you went to Billy Bob Joe Bob Jr., who had a third grade education and only can read the Bible. And you decided that this was a great idea that you was going to put on the internet. The internet read it, and the internet said, that makes sense. I'm not holding a conversation with you. However, having said all that, these are the people we fight. These are the people. They have kidnapped the Bible.
That's
No, Tracy,
the Bible and the Constitution,
Tracy,
but that doesn't mean that they have a right to it.
Tracy,
that don't mean they have a right to it.
Nah, Marlon, you was doing good until you got to that one sentence.
They have kidnapped the Bible.
That literally, that word literally means book. That is a book.
It told you they are going to go as far as to create something else entirely on beliefs, on our belief. They have taken Christianity and weaponized it.
Because beliefs don't need facts.
Not the Bible, anything. Like
that's
they could have picked a cookbook. They could have picked anything. I'd been like, okay, that's dumb.
Something. Remember that movie?
But no, they gonna mess around and find out. That's all I'm gonna say. They gonna mess around and find out.
I wasn't giving a story. I was literally mapping it out. But I'm just saying. But I feel you, Mickey. I feel you.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hey,
what's up now?
Agree, because they said Elizabeth Christ is his grandmother, and so they believe he's chosen via Mary Christ lineage. Translate to.
And then Trump, then Trump did call himself the chosen one. I remember him saying he was the chosen one. Now he did say that about himself.
Only I can fix it. Only I can do it. Right.
Well, he did say he could think about
he could just think about declassifying paper, and it just happened. I'm gonna think about $1 million is coming my way because I thought of it.
And then what did they do? Oh man. This, I don't know how this hit me, but it just hit me. What did they do right before they created the religion of Christianity. First thing they did was the state rose up against Jesus for daring to oppose the state's will. Now, in this story, they're casting Trump as a new Messiah. So Trump opposes the state. The state rises up to get Trump. The only way to get Trump is not through Trump, but through his inner circle, which turns on Trump. That's what we're watching in this moment.
Yeah.
Then he is sacrificed for the will of the state. This is the story we are watching through their weird, manipulated
I just
mind.
want to watch cartoons and eat cereal.
Yeah,
I can't. This is just
wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong.
this is just too depressing. Oh no!
This is the reason why I'm moving on. This is the reason why I'm moving on.
It's too much.
because you're not wrong, and I'm finna pull an Anna. You're making me sick to my stomach. I'm gonna move on. I'm sorry. I will pull an Anna right now and get off this freaking video because I'm finna move on. Asshole management.
You told Mark that you could work night shift tonight. No, I didn't. I told Mark that I couldn't work on Monday. You told him you couldn't work in the mornings, but you could work normal hours. As you know, I found out yesterday that my dad passed away. I'm gonna go ahead and at least take one day off. If I won, I get a whole week off to mourn his death. I'm so sorry for any inconvenience this will cause you. My uncle died a few days ago and I lost my grandma. Stop being a victim. Mail me my check. I quit. And go f*** yourself. Down in the comments, we have this story from Ripley825. Oh my god, this happened to someone that I worked with at IHOP years ago. She literally got a phone call as she was working as a line cook that her mother died in a car wreck that morning. The manager literally told her that she had to stay and finish her shift or be fired for negligence. Homegirl took off her apron and yeeted it at his face. He was still yelling that she would be fired if she walked out the door as she was walking out the door.
That's an absolute true story because that happened to me when my aunt would die. My supervisor said, "Get over it." What did you just say?
And this is the funny thing about it, which never comes up in conversation with people like this. Because I always sit there, because for him, my uncle, what he say? My uncle and my
grandma died. Get over it. How you
Okay, here's the deal, dude. Because you wasn't fucking close to your uncle and your grandmother, don't mean they wasn't. You obviously didn't give a damn if they died, apparently. If you can sit there and have somebody die and you ready to go back to work, you didn't give a fuck. Now, for some people, that's not for everything because that is a caveat. There's some people, they just got to work. They can't be at home thinking about this. They got to work. They got to work. I'm not talking about them. I'm literally going to the people who sit there and go, you need to get over it because I got over it. For those people, fuck you. I'm not going to get over it on your timeline. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
And to be honest, you never get over it. You just learn how to deal with it.
No, you learn how to deal with it. If something happens to my mom, if something happens to Foxy, I'm going to get over it when I damn well get over it. Not on your timeline, not because I need to go back to work, not because I need to move on, not because you don't want to see me sad anymore or anything else. I don't give a fuck about your happiness. I'm not happy. I'll get over it when I damn well get over it.
Like, in some of these bosses, they act like it's not other jobs out there. Like, oh, I don't got no skill. I can't go get no other job.
I'll push back on that on one thing. You're saying that now. That was way before the great, what was the great
resignation.
That was before the great resignation. And I told everybody, if this was the time that you need to quit to go find you a better job, you need to do it now because they are hiring, because people have put up with bullshit for way too long.
Too long.
Because of what you just said. Well, the opposite of what you just said. I apologize because of the opposite of what you said. Management have made you feel like this is the only job. I have
Yep,
literally
this the only
had
thing you can do.
management always tell me that. Are you
Yep.
sure? Because this may not be. You may go out there and think you're gonna find a better job, and it may not be a better job, and things like that. I've had management tell me that. I've literally emails. So it's not like I was sitting there not hearing them correctly. I have emails. Are you sure you want to leave? You may not think it's as good as you think it is out there.
We're the best suppression employee you'll ever have.
No, they're not. No,
When
they're
we
not saying.
oppress you,
They're
nobody
saying,
can oppress
they're
you
saying
like
right
we
now,
can.
Relationship.
they're saying right now, we're the best for you because you're not going to find anything better for you than us.
What they're really saying is, I'm not ready to let you go yet. That's
No,
all
that's
they're
what
really
they're,
saying.
that's what
It's a
they're.
If they
manipulative.
said that would be way better. Are you sure?
But they're
Yeah,
never
I'm
going to say
pretty
that because that's not what an abusive relationship does.
No.
Whether it be a romantic relationship, a friendship, an employment situation, it doesn't matter if it's an unhealthy relationship. The one who is being surprised with the change in the status quo is going to push back. And their number one go-to is you'll never find something as good as this. That's what they do.
I'm going to put this up. We're not going to discuss it, Tracy. You'll understand when I put it up, but we're not going to discuss it.
Dang, I was wrong. Okay.
Damn. Oh well. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh gosh, I just ate. You might be
I literally,
up.
honestly think she is. If okay, I'm gonna do you a favor then. Don't eat before tomorrow, then, because I got some Trump stuff that's just like, dude. I don't know what the fuck wrong with you now, dude. I just really think you just. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not there. She never was there to begin with because I told you she has that little piece of paper that she says the same thing over and over and over again because it works. But she gone. She is like, I'm just gonna say some bullshit, and I hope you don't catch it. And yeah, this one woman caught her.
I don't know if I just misunderstood Marjorie Taylor Greene in this video. No, she's talking about gun reform and the Second Amendment and all that. But then she says murder is legal. Did I hear her wrong?
Listen, I think there is always a pro-Second Amendment argument. As a matter of fact, I have never seen an argument to take away the Second Amendment or to pass more gun control. The reality is murder is legal, and there is already plenty of gun control in place. Every single time we see these shootings happen, there's so much more to the story. We want to know what kind of drug abuse is going on with that person. What kind of psychotropic medications are they on? And are those making an effect? As well as what is their home life like? And what are their parents doing? The other questions are, where do they get these guns? And why weren't the checks and balances that are already legal, why didn't they stop it? But the real reality is schools are gun-free zones, and many places are gun-free zones, and that leaves every single person unsafe because you can't defend yourself.
Some people.
She gone. Oh, she's gone.
I think this is another one of those times where people are intentionally missing the forest for the trees. Like, it's easy to be like, this crazy lady just said that murder is legal. But if this was someone talking that we actually liked, then we would be honest and say she used the wrong word. Because what she really wanted to say was that homicide can be legal. And we know that. We know that's what she meant to say. But we also know that she's crazy as a loon and she's dangerous. So because we don't like her and she's dangerous, she doesn't get the benefit of the slip. Because that word, that's what's going to make the news. That's what's going to be circled all over the place. Her message is going to get missed. And her message is, if I can justify it, it's legal.
And the funny
That's her
thing,
message.
and the funny thing about it is that she went through a slew of statements. What about the drugs? What about their
All
mental
smoke.
health? What about their home lives? And all this other stuff. Have we not been saying that for the longest time? What
Yes.
about their drug life? Well, why do you keep cutting funds for drug support, advocacy, group homes, groups, centers, and everything else? What about their mental health? Why did you cut funds for mental health?
It's even worse than that, Marlon. She is crazy, but she's not stupid.
No,
What she
no,
just
she's
did,
not.
what she just did was, in a way, she kind of poked her finger in the eye of a lot of people on the left. Okay? Because whenever someone is murdered by the police, which is what she was touching on,
Mhm.
the question is a litany. Why were they there? Why didn't they comply? Were they on drugs? Who were their parents? But those things only apply when it's a marginalized group. They don't do that with other when it's like a white male. They don't go down that list, right? So she was literally saying things that she knew would trigger or annoy the people that she's there to trigger and annoy. And then in the same message, she's letting you know, I hear you when you say all those things. I'm aware of your pushback each and every time. And I'm telling you, I don't care. And I will do whatever has to be done to protect our ability to kill. And so long as I can have the right laws in place, when I kill, it will be legal. And that is what matters. That's what she's saying to people. But what people are hearing, crazy lady said murder.
Well, the deal is this, though, and I'm gonna pull back just a little. Kill is the final stage. I know there's a better way of saying this. It's control. I'm gonna do whatever it is that I have to do, whatever it is that I have to say to control you. To threaten to kill you is a form of controlling you.
Mhm.
But I have to kill some of you to understand that I'm not, don't call my bluff. And I am going to say certain things like, is that like this, Mickey? When Mar-a-Lago was legally searched, thousands of right wingers posted death threats to FBI agents and their family. Look in the mirror. That wasn't a threat that I'm going to kill FBI agent. That is, I'm going to scare you and your family to the point that I want you to stop investigating Trump. But now, a lot of these people have come to the conclusion of, well, I'm going to have to kill some of you, such as the guy that was outside of the, was it
FBI field
Sacramento?
office.
Yeah, FBI agent office. I'm going to throw some bombs at you to show you we're not joking. It's
Well,
a
they're
control.
they're definitely foreshadowing. That's why
Yeah,
the threat of violence is much more effective than actual violence. But in order for the threat of violence to be effective, you have to make sure it's punctuated at times with real violence.
exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
why they constantly are foreshadowing. If you go after Trump, there will be consequences and they will be big. So what they're trying to do is kind of brush back that part. And what they'll do is they'll touch other targets along the way. They tried to kidnap a governor. They've taken over state houses. They've tried to take over the federal government. They tried to wage a coup. They killed police officers. If they'll do all of these, if they will threaten the FBI, like, I don't know no black folk who would ever say some stupid stuff like they're going to do something to the FBI. We don't like the FBI. FBI been against us since the FBI was created. FBI was partially created to fuck with us. We ain't going to say nothing against the FBI. So these people are letting you know that even the FBI can be touched.
The FBI.
So if we're willing to touch the governor, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, if we're willing to touch all these people, do you really think we ain't gonna touch you? And that's what they're trying to get across. They want you so scared that you will actually, in a way, do something to help them along, because you think if I give them a little bit, this is what's wrong with the Republican Party, how they lost control of their party. If I can just give them a little bit, then we can kind of keep them from going to the final solution. And you can't reason with these people, right?
No.
You can reason with Republicans. You can reason with some Christian fascists. You can reason with some bigots. But what you cannot reason with is this ethno-state group of people. You can't reason with them. They're in go mode, period. They're going to fight till they win. And you got to be willing to fight till they lose.
And I got a video tomorrow. I just want to put this in the back of your head. I got a video tomorrow that I'm going to show on the show that just, the first thing that popped in my head. I apologize, Tracy, because I'm going to cuss.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead, show.
But I looked at this video and I really just went, what fucking society am I living in right now? And Tracy, I'm telling you this off the bat. The only reason why I'm picking on you and not everybody else, because I'm going to need you to control yourself when you see the video. Because I know Thea's and I know Anna. Tracy, when you see this video, the words, the expression is going to be popping in your head like popcorn. You can't let none of it come out your mouth.
Have I ever let something come out of my mouth?
You ain't never seen a video like this before, because, oh my goodness, it falls beyond understanding.
Well, it sounds like a video I don't want to see.
It is far beyond understanding. What exactly are you watching right now? It is that. It ain't. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like bizarro world. It's like it's nothing I've ever seen before. It is.
And you gonna show us this video on purpose?
That's what I'm sitting here thinking, man.
Like you just thought, well, that'll be a good one to show them.
If it traumatized you, don't traumatize us.
Well, like, what did we do? We just sitting here
No,
on
it's
your
not
show.
going to traumatize you. It's funny. It is meant to be funny, but it's like, this is real, and it's like, Mickey, the only thing I even found cringeworthy
Was him singing that QAnon song, like all of them number ones.
He was playing music in the background. It's like, did he go to church? What the hell is going on?
That wasn't no church music.
That Trump rally really did feel like one of them creepy church
It was
services.
creepy.
Yeah, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Parker, but I want to say that they didn't kill any police officers on that day. They seriously injured and caused serious damage, and then 2 officers committed suicide.
Yes,
after. But on the day of, I don't think they killed any of the police officers.
They didn't kill anybody.
They injured 140 of them.
They injured a lot of police officers, and
but I
Parker,
saw Blue Lives Matter.
Not
and
them,
Parker, I don't think you saw the show. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you didn't see the show when I was showing the January 6th committee at the beginning, because I'll never forget what that one of the officers who was not at the Capitol, and one of the insurrectionists. I'll take that back. One of the bad guys, because
Terrorists.
they never really actually said who he was. That's why I said.
Are you talking about one of the terrorists?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. You talking about?
Okay, let's use terrorists because I
Because
don't.
that's
I
pretty
don't know.
much what they
I
are.
don't know plus or minus if he was there or not. Great chance he was there, but he literally told one of the cops, "Are you on our side or not?"
Oh yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, he asked one of the white cops, "Are you on our side or
Yeah,
not?"
whose side are you
So,
on?
Or whose side are you on?
Whose side are you on? So yeah, it's I don't think any cops died. No cops died. I apologize. No cops died at that scene. There was serious bodily injury to the cops. Like just because you didn't die, don't mean you wasn't close to it. And there were deaths afterwards, such as I don't care if you die or not. So let's just put it into the.
I mean, no one died, but not for lack of trying.
Yeah, that. Thank you. I was trying to figure a way of doing it.
Yeah,
It ain't like they wasn't trying.
Yeah.
But they just
It
knew
wasn't
they
like
was
they
gonna
was
take
not
over something.
trying
They
to
was
do
like,
it.
"Nah, this ours. We don't care what y'all say." What the?
Yeah, but I made my statements all in those videos. I welcome anybody to go back and check them out. It was a really good discussion that was had.
If you break into the home and seriously injure your owner, but he doesn't die until days later, you're still charged with murder. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. That was what it was about. Whose side? I'm not even going to say this because I have no proof of it. They never bring out any information about it, so I don't have any proof of it. I'm not about to believe that there was no cops that was not on their side.
No, we know there were.
We know there were the ones that opened the gates. It was like 4 of them. Like, here, go
you mean
there.
like you were there that day? Yeah, you know, yes.
Yeah, come on, that's not
not even a
controversial. That's just fact. The sky's blue. There were some cops involved in January 6th.
Well, I'm not saying no cops involved. Capitol Police.
Yeah, I don't know.
Capitol, FBI, whatever you want to call it.
You got situations where part of the Secret Service detail is suspect. So
yeah, they up there destroying emails.
Was like, I ain't getting in that car. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
All right, this next video right here. I honestly don't even know what she's talking about. I truly don't. All I'm saying is the only reason I'm bringing her up is because the name calling, as petty as it is, I couldn't even come up with these things. So just pay attention to the name calling she does. It is phenomenal. I'm so proud of her. It is amazing.
So this is an oversimplified version of what I believe is happening with the white woman whisperer. A pastel parsnip woman decided to stitch the account, White Woman Whisperer, with a very terrible take. White Woman Whisperer, along with many other people, called out this Ghost of Elmer's Glue for their terrible take. The Unbaked Turkey not only doubled down on their bad take, but then also proceeded to cross boundaries and play the victim. When the White Woman Whisperer's best friend and a couple of other content creators on this app, some of them being fellow palm-colored women, call this person out for playing the victim, they decide to not just double, not just triple, but to quadruple down on playing the victim. That is how I understand the situation as it is currently, and I am truly sorry to White Woman Whisperer that this happened to you.
My favorite
I want to know what she was talking about. I'm like, well, what happened?
I'm sorry. My favorite line of that whole thing was, "You are the ghost of Elmer's glue." So we know Elmer's glue is white. You are the ghost of
Now
Elmer's
they're like,
glue.
well, what happened? Who said what?
I'm just like, boy, I couldn't even come up with these name things right here.
May I?
Yes, of course you can. Yeah,
I'm the dissenting view, most likely, but I didn't like that. I did think that I did like she made me think about Batman because you had Two Face, you know, but she was like cute on both sides, like long hair and short hair. So I think that's awesome. She got a perfect head shape, whatever. But I I just I just don't like when people like if they were talking about a black person, I'd have been pissed, right? So I don't like that. Like all the different descriptors for just being white. I'm like, white's good enough. We know what white is. But she's also white, so she can say things that are different. It's just I just didn't like it.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to the last video of the night.
Am I alone?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you
Okay.
probably are.
yeah. We already done messed up my thing. So all you Karens out there, you deserve what you get.
You're not going to believe this. Some lady, I was driving down the road, and some lady flagged me down and said her Jeep was dead, like the battery was dead. So I looked at it and I said, you know what? I think I got the same exact battery in the truck right now. I said, I'll sell it to you for like $50. Done deal. I'll even put it in for you. And so I did. And then she takes off. Just hauls ass. I couldn't believe it. And didn't pay me. And, you know, karma's a bitch because she crashed it into a tree right here. Yeah, that's karma for you. Yeah. Yeah, what do you think of that? Change the battery, don't pay me? So that's karma. Crashed it right into the tree. Now it won't go anywhere. No, I'm not helping you either.
That was so cute.
That was cute. Oh, it looks like Thea's wants to say
Yeah, here we
something.
go.
Yeah, well, you gonna wait.
Comment withheld. Two people think it's cute. I missed it. Okay.
It was a little child he was talking about. Because you would hope he wasn't talking about a grown woman crashing into a tree. That would have been kind of sick. But when you saw it was a little girl, it's like, oh, he was talking about his little granddaughter or daughter.
I do have to worry about your granddaughter don't know how to push the Jeep back to go around the tree. I'm
That was
sorry.
a toy Jeep. You've never drove around in a toy car and crashed it into something?
Yeah, because toy Jeeps was really big in the hood.
I guess I'm knowing.
You was
I
happy
never
to
had
have a
one.
car. Little,
I never had one.
no daggone well, I was never gonna have one. I was happy to have a kite, let alone a Jeep. Anna had to jump off. Anna had to jump off. She wasn't feeling well. Plus, I want her to get ready for tomorrow's show. So we're at the end of the show in a way. So let it be known. Tomorrow's show is going to be fireworks. We're going to talk about, and I think I told Tracy this. Tomorrow's show, every time I thought that I was finished with tomorrow's show, they kept talking and messing it up. So they kept going on and on and on. So I had to keep adding. Tomorrow's show is going to be about Trump, which that was the person I'm talking about. Dude, shut up. I got too much for this show. Thank goodness I'm starting at 8 o'clock. We're going to talk about Trump and all the legal problems. And by the way, there was a Thursday or Friday, there was a fourth issue that came up for Trump. I'm going to try to fix it in. I'm going to do my best. I don't know. We're going to talk about Ron DeSantis and kidnapping. The dude, that's what you did. It wasn't the stuff that we're used to seeing, but we're going to get into some real deep. It's really been bad for these idiots last week. And remember, I'm saying idiots because I think that they're idiots. I'm not saying that they're weak. I'm not saying that they don't have a plan. I'm still just saying that they're idiots. So don't take what I'm saying like, oh, they're a bunch of losers. Yeah, these bunch of losers has been taking over the country for a minute now, and it's going to take a lot of work to take it back. So don't get comfortable, because I'm great at insulting people. Don't mean nothing. I hate that song.
What song? Oh no, not the porn music.
I love this song. Thea, tell everybody where they can find you.
ComplexSimpleMan.com. ComplexSimpleMan.com. I really think tomorrow, because I got a lot to do, but I think I'm going to try to go ahead and do that insurance video. But yeah, please check out the site, put information out there, hopefully to help somebody. So,
Tracy Media LLC, all platforms. And I'm a tired person because I've had a long day, but he's still plugging away.
And I'll be sleeping in my man cave today because my grandchildren are over and they're going to be sleeping in my wife's bed. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. But it's a sacrifice you sign up for. So it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for the night. I really appreciate it. If everybody can hit that like button on the way out the door. If this is the kind of content that you like, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Please do not forget that Radical Truth the Power will be on tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you when we see you. Peace.